Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
How many kids do you hear, "Hey, Marky"? It might be almost to the point of Ruth.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
You love that name so much, you don't even go by it.
On 100.5 ESPN.
If you call me Mark, I like my name. I like my name a lot.
The ESPN Wisconsin app.
Wilde and Tausch.
And ESPN Madison on YouTube.
It's Wilde and Touch, isn't it?
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It is the Thursday edition, the Jason Wilde-less edition, for one day only, which means me and the big guy who threw out the first pitch at the Brewers game the other night get to hold it down today on Wilde and Tausch. A lot of Packers conversation coming your way today, I promise. 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, the ESPN Wisconsin app. Download it today. Wherever you get your podcasts, and of course, live video streaming on the ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channels. My name is Jesse Nelson. Normally, I am the producer of this show. Today, I slide over into the host chair. Jason Wilde taking a beat. Has the day off today. He'll tell you what he's up to when he returns to the show tomorrow. It's all good stuff. Riley Yauk returns as our cousin sub of the day, producing today's show. Cousin subs, we believe in better. And live from his undisclosed location, where he spent the entire day yesterday facing the music. And I think the reactions are still rolling into Tausch's ceremonial first pitch Tuesday night at the Brewers game. He is the Packers Hall of Famer, Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Jesse. How are you doing this morning? I'm trying to get my video up and rolling here, so hopefully I'll have that. But I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm good. More airtime, more screen time for me. So, I'm okay with this. Take your time getting set on
video.
I
honestly didn't even know Jason was off today. And I didn't. There's a couple things. I must not be looking at the schedule. I don't look at the show sheet often.
No one reads the schedules around here. It's okay.
That's kind of on me. I did not know that. So hopefully you got a lot of good stuff planned.
We do. A lot of good stuff today. A lot of Packers conversation as the Packers get set to visit the Cleveland Browns coming up on Sunday afternoon in Cleveland. First road contest of the year for the Green Bay Packers. We're going to hear some sound from Jordan Love, among others. Rob Demovsky scheduled to appear at 10:15 with us today. So we will still have a member of the Packers beat on today's show. It's just not Jason Wilde. It'll be Rob Demovsky coming up at 10:15. Plenty to get set for Sunday afternoon's contest. And then, of course, tomorrow we'll spend even more time diving into all things there. But I do want to start with this, Tausch, because we had some guests come into the ESPN Madison office yesterday afternoon. And the first thing they said was, boy, that Tausch first pitch, oof, that was ugly. And I'm listening to other shows throughout the day on ESPN Wisconsin. I mean, obviously, we played the sound from the national show yesterday, getting after you pretty good. This thing is making the waves, your first pitch from Tuesday night. It's the gift that keeps on giving, accumulating views on social media and just growing and growing. How are you doing in the fallout of this whole thing from Tuesday night?
I'm fine. I think I ended up hearing from a lot of people yesterday. Mostly, some people asking how I was holding up, and I think obviously Tuesday night I sucked. I butchered it, and so I guess the nice thing, if I want, again, I'm trying to stay positive. I did hear from a lot of people I hadn't heard from in a long time, and I said, it's really nice that you reached out on this occasion rather than on another. But yeah, I did not hear. I was on Jim, Matt, and Molly last night, and I had Matt Hamilton, who threw out a good first pitch, kind of go through his process and everything else. And so, I'm ready for this thing to wind down, I'd say, and hopefully I would think by tomorrow it will wind down and we'll start getting back into normal things. That's what I'm hoping for. Whether or not that happens, I don't know.
844-770-3776 is the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. List is more, 844-770-3776. I didn't even bother putting up the texts that were rolling in yesterday, sharing their reactions to your pitch, but those were rolling in pretty significantly as well. This has gotten to the point, Tausch, where it's not just ESPN Wisconsin hosts, ESPN national personalities. This is also now Brewers executives who are weighing in on your pitch. I don't know if you heard this yesterday. Wisconsin's,
I did not, no.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on 620 WTMJ with John McCure. They had the Brewers president of baseball operations, Rick Schlesinger, on. And, he's coming on to talk about playoff tickets and the postseason push and the pursuit of a first-round bye and a number one seed in the National League. And how did the interview start? Riley, go ahead and play this from 620 WTMJ yesterday afternoon.
Rick Schlesinger, the president of baseball operations, is with us live this afternoon. Rick, it's so good always to talk to you. Thank you for spending some time with us.
Happy to be on, John.
Hey, we're going to talk about playoff tickets and the plan and all that stuff in a second. But first, I got to get your comment on something that happened last night. And we're only teasing Mark Tauscher here because he's been talking about it all day over here at our radio stations. Did you see the first pitch last night?
I most certainly did.
I'm sorry about that. Mark Tauscher bounces the ball. I mean, it's like only halfway to home plate when it bounces. Give us your take on the Mark Tauscher first pitch.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to watch that and not think what the heck was going on because, I guess he picked the right sport because he was a great football player. But, that was something. I did not expect that. I just cringed for him. But his defense, he tried to do the best he can with some little cricket analogy there. It doesn't work for me. That was just an awful throw. I think he's got to own it. I think we're going to have him come back. And, redemption because, boy, he cannot – with that legacy, he cannot undermine his entire career with that pitch because that thing's gone viral. It was truly awful, but I will invite him back and we'll try to make amends.
That is the Brewers president of baseball operations, Rick Schlesinger, yesterday on Wisconsin's afternoon news.
Jesse, has anything given you more joy during your years of doing the show than what happened Tuesday night?
Yes. Yeah, a couple of your headline songs from the great season of 2023 have given me more joy. The first time we had Frank Caliendo on the show when I was producing, and I got to do my John Gruden impression back and forth with him. Good. That was pretty fun. That's about it. That's okay. That's about those two things. This has been a wild 48-hour ride for us, and I can't imagine what you're thinking. That the Brewers president of baseball operations is now weighing in on your performance Tuesday night. This feels like this has gone to a whole new level now. Like it's one thing when we got our fans on the Facebook comments and the Twitter feed, and they're weighing in, and then even the text line yesterday, and Homer's getting after you, and Evan Cohen's getting after you. But now we've got the Brewers president of baseball operations saying that was truly awful on Tuesday night.
Yeah, no, it was awful. I don't know. I guess I'm confused. What else you guys want me to say? I've had fun with it. I've also said it sucked. I was disappointed with it. So I can sit here again and beat myself up. I'm not going to do that. I've gotten beaten up enough. So from my perspective, yeah, it was a crappy pitch. No doubt about it. Was it the worst pitch we've ever seen? No, it's not even close. I've seen 50 Cent. I've seen Carl Lewis's. I've seen plenty of other bad throws. But somebody texted me yesterday that I hadn't talked to in a while and kind of just asked, well, what happened? And I said, well, I'm a football guy. So I guess I'm just confused. Here I am. I'm almost 50 years old. I've played in the NFL for a long time. And people expect me to still be 30 years old. Like, I'm almost 50. I guess, am I supposed to be Nolan Ryan coming out here throwing strikes? I should have done better. At some point, maybe I will take Rick up on his offer just to shut everybody up, or I won't. I'll figure that out down the road. I'm definitely not going to be doing it anytime soon. I know that. And that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm trying to kind of piece together, all right, I'm having fun with it. We'll have fun with it. You guys can, continue to bring this up and do it. That's fine. But at this point, I'm not sure what else I could possibly say. I've kind of said my piece on it, and it definitely sucked. I butchered it, and hopefully at some point I can do better. That's kind of where I'm at.
So, and you heard Rick Schlesinger there, and I think I misspoke. President of Business Operations, not baseball operations. That's obviously Matt Arnold. President of Business Operations, Rick Schlesinger, weighing in on that on Wisconsin's Afternoon News yesterday. He did say at the end of that clip he would extend the invitation for you to get a second try at this thing at some point. Because that's one of the other themes we've heard from fans who have texted in. We've had some other people reach out to us. Would you consider a second go at this, either at American Family Field or in any other capacity to try and, overcome what transpired on Tuesday night?
I don't know. If I'm being honest, I don't know. I mean, it could go worse. So I don't know if it's, I'll take a beat. I'll grab a meal and I'll see if that's something that I want to go do. But at this point, I would say I'm leaning towards probably not doing it, but that's, the wound is raw, so maybe that might be it. I'll take a beat. Let's watch how the rest of this World Series chase goes for the Milwaukee Brewers, and then we can, re-examine if and when I'm going to jump back in there and do it again. So I guess that would be my my answer to that.
A good night for the Brewers last night. Their second straight 9-2 win over the Los Angeles Angels. They go for the sweep tonight. The magic number is down to 6 for the Brewers to clinch the National League Central Division title, which would, in all likelihood, give them a first-round bye in the postseason, pending a disaster here where the Dodgers would be able to catch them. The Phillies could get the 1 seed, but the first-round bye looking all the more better for the Brewers as they win, and the Phillies did lose yesterday to the Dodgers as well, so that creates a little more separation for the number 1 seed at the top of the National League as well. When you look at the Brewers, and this will be the last thing we do Brewers, then we're going to go all Packers almost the rest of the show here. When you look at the Brewers here...
I think I have to excuse myself.
I'm sorry. Yes.
After my debacle on Tuesday night, I gave myself a 1-week ban on talking Brewers. So you'll have to go to Riley on this. I could just sit quietly and wait, and then I'm ready to rock with Pella when you want to throw it to me.
All right, sounds good. Riley, when Riley out, because our cousin sub of the day producing today's show. When you look at the Milwaukee Brewers, Riley, the 1 seed, the first round bye, the National League Central, which is the most important threshold for the Brewers to achieve here over the next week and a half?
I think that's really easy. The National League Central Division. You cannot lose the division to the Cubs at this point. They have a 5-game lead. The magic number 6, I believe I saw yesterday. Now, with the Brewers' win yesterday, I think they'd have to go 5-6 the rest of the way, and the Cubs would have to go undefeated. If that happens, would be absolutely abysmal. If you beat the Cubs, unless the Dodgers also go on an insane run and the Brewers win like 2 or 3 more games, you're automatically getting a bye. I really don't care if the Phillies pass us for the 1 seed. That might actually be a good thing, because then we wouldn't run into the Phillies or the Cubs until the National League Championship Series. So I think National League Central, lock that up. Whatever happens after that, just get healthy, get ready for the playoffs.
Excellent insight, Riley. If Tausch were here to talk Brewers, I'm sure one thing he would say is he's not afraid of anybody. Bring him or fling him is something we've done with power rankings in the NFL over the years. I don't think there's anybody that we wouldn't say bring him as a Brewers fan. Like, bring it all on. Bring the Cubs, bring the Mets, bring the Phillies, bring the Dodgers, bring the Yankees, bring them all. I'm ready to see them go toe-to-toe. I'm not scared. I mean, there's always the slight hesitation as you go to the playoffs of like, oh, what if it goes wrong? Like, that's going to be in the back of your mind as a Brewers fan because it's gone wrong so many times. But there's not one specific team, as there have been in years past, where I'm like, I really hope we avoid that team. That's the hot team. I can't. There's nobody that I feel that way about in this postseason. It's like, we're up for the challenge. We've shown we can sweep the Dodgers twice. We swept the Phillies and take the Cubs. Let's do it all. Can't wait for the postseason. What a fun ride this Brewers season has been. Think back to where this all started. Torpedo bats in New York, in the Bronx, against the Yankees, and the 3-game sweep at the start of the year. And since then, the Miz, the Euchre celebrations, Brandon Woodruff's return, the pursuit of burgers the first time, the actual pursuit and achievement of free burgers the second time, and now down the stretch here, pursuing a division title, potentially a number 1 seed, a first-round bye in the National League playoffs. How lucky are we as Brewers fans this year that this is the team we get to cheer on? And I don't know how this ride is going to end for all of us, but wow, am I excited to see how this thing goes for the next week and a half and then into the month of October.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
We bring back Mark Tausch. We're done with Brewers conversation. So now you can tell us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Well, when a customer chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring that trust and commitment. A lot of customers might have apprehensions about inviting someone out to their home, but when you see the experience and professionalism, you can trust them with bringing your project to life. Their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. Order by the end of the month. Get 0 interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
The word limited has 2 very different definitions for 2 Packers offensive linemen. That's something we learned yesterday after practice. We will talk more about that as we begin the countdown to Sunday's kickoff for the Green Bay Packers and the Cleveland Browns. We'll dive into it next on Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
We love the Packers. We bleed green and gold. And every time our team takes the field, well, it's pure football bliss. If only there was a way to experience that blissful winning feeling every day. At Associated Bank, we've got you with 10% off Lambeau concessions and 15% off Pro Shop merch. All when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank. It's how Packers fans keep winning on game day and every day. Associated Bank, Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
Grassland Butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
Thinking about going electric? Now is the perfect time at Zimbrick Chevrolet. When you purchase a qualifying new EV vehicle, you could get up to $7,500 for eligible buyers from a federal clean vehicle tax credit. Don't wait, act now, because this tax credit is only available until September 30th. And once you buy your EV, Zimbrick Chevy will take care of you with their certified EV service and top off your charge. Never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet. Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
At Hard Rock Casino Rockford, the unforgettable experience goes far beyond the casino floor with the luxury of their dining and entertainment. Savor prime cuts and fresh seafood at Council Oaks Steak and Seafood, or explore 7 unique dining venues that deliver flavors from around the world. Then let the night ignite at Hard Rock Live, where the world's greatest acts take the stage. Hard Rock Casino Rockford, let's hard rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
It's football season in Wisconsin and the energy is electric. Get ready to fuel up the hype with Monster Energy. With bold flavors and that legendary kick, Monster gives you the power to go all 4 quarters. Whether you're tailgating before the big game, watching with friends at home, or catching every play at your favorite spot. Because game day isn't just about football. It's about bringing the energy wherever you are. Stop by your local Piggly Wiggly to pick up a Monster Energy drink today. Monster Energy. Unleash the beast.
Wisconsin icon.
It's all about the Badgers.
The dawn of the Wisconsin Badgers.
We did it better than everybody for 20-some years.
Joined by 2 of his football legends.
I like all of them, except for quarterback.
I like defensive ends.
Hey,
I really like defensive ends.
Someone didn't like kickers at one point.
The Barry Alvarez Show with Barry Alvarez, Tarek Sala, Derek Engler, and Jesse Nelson. Live from Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton every Monday night. Right here on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
What's up, Wisconsin fans? It is time for Big Ten football, and the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day post-game show has you covered. Join Riley Yauk and myself, Corey Sparks, at Monk's in Sun Prairie on Saturday, September 20th, as we stream across ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. After the final whistle, we will have an immediate reaction to the Badgers game against Maryland, and we want to hear from you too. It's the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day post-game show brewed by Coors Light.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
I say go, baby, go, go, go.
Wilde and Tausch today. No Jason Wilde. He's back tomorrow as we continue to get set for the Green Bay Packers and the Cleveland Browns' first road contest of the 2025 season for the Green Bay Packers after starting 2-0 with wins over the Detroit Lions and Washington Commanders at Lambeau Field. One of the developments from practice yesterday, so Zach Tom and Aaron Banks on the offensive line both missed Thursday's game against Washington with different injuries. They were both listed on yesterday's injury report as limited. But as Jason Wilde writes over at channel3000.com, they're in very different places in their trajectory to potentially play on Sunday, despite being categorized the same on the injury report. Aaron Banks says, yeah, I'm good. I'll be up on Sunday. I hate not being out there. I'm good to go. Zach Tom, on the other hand, says he still has a bunch of pain when he's running and that he barely participated yesterday. He just was in a couple of individual drills, no 11-on-11 work, and the staff is going to see how he feels on Sunday. Tausch, was this a thing when you played where you could be categorized as limited or questionable and be in two very different places with how that definition is for a team's injury report?
There's no doubt. I think it used to be doubtful, out, probable, and I think as it's evolved, it's pretty much everybody is questionable. And you can kind of get a good idea. Guys are very blunt now. You try and play coy. If guys are playing coy, that usually means they're not playing. And when someone comes out and tells you they're playing, they're probably playing. And in essence, what I've heard from both Aaron Banks and Zach Tom, Aaron Banks is going to play. Zach Tom's probably not. Now, things can change. There's still, 2 or 3 days before, you end up going, before you end up flying out to Cleveland and try and figure it out. But just listening to the tea leaves and kind of seeing how it's shaking out, it looks as if Aaron Banks is going to play and Zach Tom's not. And if you can get one guy back, all of a sudden, now you put Jordan Morgan into a unique scenario, because is he going to prep and practice more to play right tackle, or is he going to have to continue to do left guard and you let Belton get reps? That, to me, is the more interesting part of this, because if Zach Tom can play, he's going to be limited. I mean, he said he can't run yet. Well, you don't have to be a world-class sprinter, but if you can't run, that typically means you can't do the necessary things to block a Myles Garrett 35, however many pass protections and everything else that you're going to be going against. So that would be my guess. And, to answer your question, you look at it and you try and figure out who can play, what they can give you, and then plan accordingly so you can get these other guys prepped when and if they need to go in and play.
The 2017 and 18 seasons, I get kind of confused which was which, because they both kind of played out in the end the same way. Aaron Rodgers got hurt in one of them, and McCarthy got fired near the end of the other one, but both were kind of underwhelming seasons. But one of those seasons was the last time that the Packers, I thought, really had like a problem on the offensive line. It feels like no matter and you and Bulaga and JC, you break this down every Wednesday and you dive into the offensive line and all offseason. I don't know how is this going to play out. Is Elton moving and all these different questions on the offensive line, and it always seems like it's just fine. Like, it ends up being not a non-issue when you're watching the games on Sundays and Thursdays and Mondays and whenever else. Like, it just always seems like that's one of the last things anyone thinks about for the Green Bay Packers in the last, decade and a half, 2 decades? Because it just seems like everything is always steady and always good. I never really think twice about the offensive line unless they're obviously getting destroyed in a game. You're like, oh, what's going on there? The Eagles game last year is a good example of that. So, is there any cause for concern going into Sunday against Myles Garrett and the Cleveland Browns, knowing you'll probably be down at least one offensive lineman? And even with the questions of who's going to play, is it Belton, is it Jordan Morin, what are they going to do? I just feel like until I see that it's a problem, it's going to be fine, because that's just the way it typically works for the Green Bay Packers. Is that a flawed logic to approach that question with for this Sunday?
Yeah, it's flawed, but the way that this game is going to go, Myles Garrett, regardless, Zach Tom's a really good player. Myles Garrett is Micah Parsons-esque. Like, they're both complete difference makers, and if you don't account for them, they can wreck your game. And in a Cleveland team, I personally don't think Green Bay's defense is overly concerned about any of what Cleveland has to offer. Maybe their run game, I think their O-line's okay. Maybe that's, and then the fact that Joe Flacco is a veteran and knows and sees everything, can maybe get rid of the football. I don't think they're looking at this as a game that they're going to have to put up a 30-burger to win. I think they need to look at this and say, the only way Cleveland is going to be able to do anything to hurt Green Bay is by Myles Garrett making plays. Stracks and tipped balls and pressures and sacks and things like that. So it's going to be concerning regardless. And if you have to put Belton, or if it's going to be Kennard, or if it's going to be Jordan Morgan, you need to make sure you have help and are willing to go and make sure Myles Garrett doesn't wreck your game. If somebody else does, you tip the cap and you kind of move, but you don't let Myles Garrett do it. So is it a flawed logic to say, well, it doesn't matter who's out there? You feel better if it's your preferred starter, but that doesn't mean you're not going to give them help too and try and limit what kind of damage these guys can do.
One of the other injury developments yesterday, at least from the injury report. That happened yesterday too. We'll have to see what's going on back there. I feel bad for Riley. One of the other developments on the injury report yesterday, Micah Parsons not listed with any limitations. So I guess that back injury has gone away and that he's going to be good to go now.
And he's played a ton of snaps. He's actually played a lot more than I thought through 2 weeks, and it wasn't because I thought his back was terrible. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know how his back is. He knows that. How much of that was contractual? None of us are ever going to really know other than Micah and his representatives. But the fact that he is cleared of all that and you feel really good. He's, 2 weeks ago we were sitting here talking about guys getting epidurals and what that meant. And we had a veterinarian call in to explain what that meant. Like, think about how far that feels and the fact that we're only 3 weeks to the day. I think today's Thursday, right? 3 weeks to the day that Micah Parsons was traded, and he's already been dominant and helped this defense become what I think is one of the best we've had since '96. And epidurals, going to have to get shots. How much are you going to be able to play? 2 weeks later, he's cleared. He's a full go, and he's ready to rock going into Cleveland. I think all of that just kind of summarizes how fast things happen in this league.
Tim in Oregon on the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line at 844-770-3776. 50 is the only number for a 50 burger, not a 30 burger or a 40 burger.
Listen, Tim, I mean, I get it. You could say 50 burger, you could say 40 burger. I don't think you can say 20 burger, but when it's the Cleveland Browns offense, 30 burgers in play. Because a 30 burger to the Browns is a 50 burger to the Packers. So I know that we have to get all of these charts out and let you know. So Dallas would be, I think, in the same boat offensively. But if you're playing Dallas's defense, you'd have to get to a 60 burger to equate to a 50 burger versus the Browns. There's equitative processes with all of this, how good the defense is compared to how good their offense is, and what you need to dominate a game. I believe a 30 burger gets it done in a big way this week. I don't think that the Browns are going to get out of the teens. And as a matter of fact, I think this is a game ripe. If Green Bay doesn't turn it over, I think this game is ripe for a shutout or a single-digit game from this defense. That's what I am thinking much more than anybody getting to a 30 burger or a 20 burger from the Cleveland Browns.
So yesterday we discovered the ASS metrics, which is for separation for wide receivers. Today we've got the TB at Tausch's burger metrics is what we want to call this for.
That wasn't mine. It was Tim's. My burger metrics are what they are.
You're elaborating though with the relative burger advanced analytics with the 60 burger.
Well,
I agree with
Tim. I agree with Tim's assessment. Like, a big score in the NFL is 40 plus. Like, a lot of teams score 30, not a lot of teams score 40. And if you get to 50, that is a burger. So I tend to agree with Tim on his basic premise of it. But when I look back and say, well, against this team with what offensive limited ability they have, a 30 burger, because if you win by 20 is what I consider a beating in the NFL. If you win by 17 plus, that's a big fat W. 3 scores is a big fat W. And what does it take to get to that? That's usually when I burgerize things, if that makes any sense to you.
I don't know if we measure anything Kohler Services does. A Kohler burger, a shower burger. I've heard of a shower beer. I don't know about a shower burger. Tell us about Kohler Services.
Yeah, I will. A refreshing offer, not talking about Jesse showering, but just getting a new shower or bath remodel from Kohler Services. And this month only, you get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and 0 interest financing for 12 months. My friend Chris from Oosburg, one of their skilled installers, he demos your existing bath or shower, removes it. I've seen it. We've lived it. And then you dispose it before you install that brand new dream shower from Kohler Services. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. Again, that is KohlerServicesWI.com.
Oh, now they're saying, but the Brewers had a 13 burger a week or two ago. So now does baseball have burgers? And what's a 12 burger, a 13 burger?
I can't. I'm not talking baseball for a week, Jesse. I don't know.
I'm sorry, I forgot. Riley,
self-imposed punishment.
Yep, that's
for
fair.
The pitch. I'm giving myself a week ban. So next Wednesday, we can discuss all the baseball you want. But until then, you keep asking me these questions. You know the rules. that I think is a fair punishment for my poor performance.
You're going to miss a lot of good stuff in the next week. Riley, what's the threshold for a burger in baseball?
I think a 7 burger. If you win 10-3, 9-2, like the Brewers did the past couple of nights, that's
well,
a
I'd
big
love
old
to
burger.
chime in here because I do have thoughts, but I can't.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Disappointing. And I mean, baseball already has a whoa bacon stat. They need to come up with the whoa burger stat next.
What's a whoa bacon?
I don't know. It's something batting average on, like, I don't know. I'll look it up. I'll have it for you next segment.
BACON is a stat.
Yeah, bacon is a stat.
That's pretty fantastic.
Now we need a burger stat.
I did not know that. Speaking of the offensive line, so we're talking Aaron Banks, we're talking Zach Tom. Someone else on the Green Bay Packers offensive line said something that Tausch passed along this morning, and I think it's going to be very interesting to dive into what the reaction may be to this commentary. We will hear which offensive lineman said what about the trajectory of this Green Bay Packers season. Coming up next, it's Jesse and Tausch on Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Packers.
This NFC North is a 2-team race.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
Green Bay already showcased where they're at. The North is not going to be the best division in football this year.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf, before, during, and after the sale. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on social media for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
The Midwest's best baseball players have one thing in common: GRB Academy. For 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement, producing over 468 college commits and 27 major league draft picks. Their Windsor facility has 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training space. Next up to bat is GRB's top prospect camp on Sunday, October 12th, open to the high school classes of 2026 through 2029. Claim your spot now at grbacademy.com.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Hi, it's Eric from Canopy Wealth Management. Our years of experience have prepared us to guide you through your life transitions. Our local professional team brings over 90 years of collective experience in the wealth management industry for the benefit of our clients. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started on your financial future today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We ask and you answer. Tune in to Jim, Matt, and Molly every weekday 4 to 6 and follow at Jim, Matt, Molly on X to vote in daily poll questions presented by Siding Unlimited, your local window installation pros. This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Give me one reason to steer, and I'll turn right back around. You can see me turning. Give me one reason to steer, and I'll turn right back around. You can see me turning. Said I don't wanna leave you lonely. You gotta make me.
Well, I'm looking at the YouTube comments. I was hoping to see more people commenting on Tausch's first pitch from last night. And instead, I get Mike. Can we get Riley or Hunter or Will to permanently produce this show? I'd even take Strofe.
Wow.
That hurts, Mike. No is the answer, as far as I know. Jesse and Tausch today on Wilde and Tausch. Jason Wilde off today. He will be back tomorrow as we continue the countdown to Packers-Browns coming up Sunday in Cleveland. First road game of the year for the Green Bay Packers. So, it feels kind of taboo to be a player on an active NFL roster and after 2 games speculate on what your season win total will be.
No, I'd agree.
But that happened yesterday up in Titletown. Let's play it for you. Here is Rashid Walker yesterday on how he thinks the Packers will fare throughout the rest of this season.
I feel like it's been clicking. I feel like we've been playing pretty clean. As a team, out of the fact, we've been playing pretty clean. But as far as the offense, I feel like O-line's been doing good. Jordan Love's been playing phenomenally. I mean, we all just been playing and sync, executing. That's why we're 2-0 right now. And then the goal is to, keep it going. But I think we can go undefeated, honestly.
I mean, I love it. I think Rashid Walker speaks on behalf of all Packers fans. Yeah, 2 games. We crushed Detroit. We crushed Washington. We're playing Cleveland and Dallas. Yeah, feels like we're the best 2 teams, or we're the best team in the NFL after 2 weeks. We got the 2 best wins, and it feels like we can go undefeated. Absolutely. I love it. We all think it, but it is different coming from an offensive lineman actually on the team than it is coming from someone calling into the Green Bay game night post-game show after the win on Sunday. Does it not feel that way, Tausch?
I think, it's just a different era. Guys have social media. Guys have their own personal brands. I could never imagine myself saying that. Now, I don't believe we ever had a team that was probably this talented as the team that this group is, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I really think this defense has a chance to be as good as the '96 defense. But I would have never. And unfortunately, for a lot of my career, we lost a lot early in seasons. We were 1-4 a couple of different times. I think we had the one season in 2007 that we got off to a really fast start. We were 10-1. But I would have never, ever said what Rashid did yesterday because you're putting a big old bullseye out there. But you believe it. Every player, when they start the season, believes they're going to go undefeated. Now there's guys that are rational and saying, yeah, at Baltimore is going to be a tough game, or at Denver is going to be a tough game, or some of the better teams if you have a road game. But you're looking. I thought every time we played at Lambeau Field we'd win. I didn't care who we played. I legitimately thought we'd always go undefeated at home. And Brett Favre would say back in the old days, you go undefeated at home and split on the road, you're a 1 seed. That was the goal. That was the NFL goal. The NFL is really hard, and it has a really fun way of humbling you. And not to say this will be the week that you get humbled, but games humble you. There's the Packers 13-0 go into Kansas, a bad Kansas City team, the year after we won the Super Bowl. They got humbled, and then they didn't win a championship. The New England Patriots went 16-0, and then they got humbled in the Super Bowl, leaving it probably as painful of a loss as every one of those players have ever had, even though the rest of their season was perfect. So I don't have any problem with Sheed saying it. I don't know how Matt LaFleur views it, but you want your guys confident. And by the way, I don't think this is as outlandish of a statement when you start looking at the schedule. I don't think, just for the record, I don't believe they'll go undefeated, but I'll be shocked if they're not 14 or 15 wins. I will be. Because the schedule, the way it lines up, you're not, I will, at Detroit, right now, if you had to say, what are the games you're most worried about for the Sheed Walker premonition to not come true? I'll tell you, the top of my list is at Denver. Then I would say Philadelphia, at Detroit, and probably Baltimore. Those are your 4 games, and I would think at worst we'll split in those 4. Legit. Tell me the other games you're uber worried about right now. If this team, there's the caveat that there always is, if this team stays healthy, those 4 games, tell me the other games you're uber concerned about.
Yeah, so you're assuming all teams at full strength. We're not assuming there's going to be any big trade
Let me
in the
tell you
middle of the
something. Cincinnati
season.
ain't gonna. Cincinnati was a game I thought you could get in a shootout, even though I thought Burrow would get killed because of our pass rush. He ain't playing. That game went from super intriguing to I think we're going to throttle the you-know-what out of him. So that's already baked into the cake. Now, Pittsburgh, I think with emotions, if you wanted to add Pittsburgh in, I've watched their defense. Their defense is not good right now. They'll flip it and they'll get better, but that would be another game I'd add. I'm not adding any more home games. I know that.
So
tell me where Sheed's crazy. I don't think he's as crazy as you think.
The 4 games that you mentioned, I think, are the 4. Pittsburgh, I would include in there because anytime, I don't care how bad the Steelers are or what they look like, you go play a night game in Pittsburgh, a Sunday night football, that's going to be a tough place to go play. It just is. I'm sure teams.
I agree.
I'm sure teams feel the same way no matter what the Packers' record is. You play a primetime game at Lambeau Field, you just feel like it's going to be a tough game no matter what the team is doing. So that's the way I feel about that Pittsburgh game, plus the emotions with the Rodgers component of it. Dr. Denver Dan in the YouTube comments says this. What's Sheed supposed to say? No, I think we're going to lose 7 because of this guy, and this guy. He wasn't asked, hey, do you think you're going to go undefeated this year?
Nobody asked.
He just casually just kind of tossed it up for everyone. I'm going to go undefeated this year.
That's the interesting part is there was no Sheed. Who's going to beat you guys this year? Because then you could understand, listen, man, I think we're really good, and we're nobody's underdog in any of these games. I don't know how many games they're going to be underdogs in. Maybe at Detroit. I don't know if people are viewing Denver the way I view them. I think that their defense, even though it struggled a little bit early, I think they'll get it righted, and Sean Payton's a really good coach. I don't know if Green Bay is going to be an underdog in any game the rest of the season. Somebody can look it up. I'm not going to. I think that there's a good chance they're favored the rest of the way.
Based on how they've started, I would not be surprised. Now, if they stumble at some point and, I don't know, let's play a hypothetical with me. They go to Arizona and they have a clunker and they lose at Arizona in October. Then maybe Philadelphia a couple weeks later is listed as a 1-point favorite at Lambeau if they're undefeated or wherever they might be at that point in the season. But I agree with you. I think right now, just like I said in the opening segment about the Brewers, you can't talk Brewers, so I won't go down that road with you. But there's no team in the playoffs where I'm scared to play that team. I don't know if the Brewers would be expected to lose to that team in a 7-game series or whatever. I don't think there's any team right now that the Packers wouldn't be favored against in any capacity. Neutral site, road game, home game. Maybe at Philly would be the one they'd be I don't know. They might not be favored in that one. At Buffalo, if they were to ever do that, which they're not scheduled this year, so it doesn't matter. Neutral site, if they play Buffalo in the Super Bowl right now, would the Packers be favored? I would think it'd be very close, but I'd guess yes. So Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I love the confidence from Rasheed Walker. I love the confidence that all of us are thinking. Is it possible we're getting to the point now, because we played last Thursday, it's been an extra long week, getting ready for Cleveland. It's not exactly a game that you have to feel like, all right, this is a big, massive, it doesn't have the same weight that Detroit and Washington did out of the gates. Is it possible this is just more overconfidence and we're living in the moment almost too much here, and now it's starting to seep its way into the locker room also, with guys saying they think they can go undefeated?
Yes. Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, that's kind of how this business works.
I'm glad we see it that way.
Sheed threw us a bone, and I appreciate Sheed throwing us a bone, that this is something that's in his mind, and now we'll get into kind of the Packers Twitterverse for a day, and then we'll move on. So I don't know if a lot of the other guys are thinking this way. I guarantee you the coaches, if they're asked, will say absolutely not. It's a day by day, a week by week, But what this does tell you is the confidence in that locker room has never been higher. I haven't heard – when have you ever heard someone after 2 weeks in a locker room make a statement like this? I haven't. And in the same respect, I haven't seen a Packers defense dominate two really good offenses the way that they did, and the way that they really affected two really good quarterbacks. So there's always this, you kind of lean on, if you're playing a team with a average to below average quarterback, you can always say, well, that's not the reality of what you're going to see when it gets to be the money time. Those two teams are. And you thoroughly dominated both. That's where that confidence comes from, and that's where you can get a Sheed Walker, Sheedo, talking about potentially who's going to beat us. And it's not crazy talk. Where most of the times, if it is, you would say, well, what the? I'm not going to say, Sheed, you're nuts. I'm going to say, I disagree. I think you're going to lose a game or two. But I'm going to tell you this. I know Hard Rock Casino Rockford, we were in at 9.5. I couldn't feel more. I wish we would have done more as I'm sitting here today. I wish we wouldn't have even jumbled any of the other stuff and just said, let's go here, because that, to me, even with injuries now, I feel really good about.
9.5 was the line back on June 18th when we put that wager in. As of Saturday night when I was at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, 11.5 is the new over-under win total for the Packers this season after winning the first two games. Last thing on this before we move on from the undefeated statement from Rasheed Walker. Do you think he's going to be talked to by anybody saying, hey, let's maybe not say that at the locker room availability the rest of the way?
Yes. I do think there'll be a helpful, hey, man, I appreciate your confidence. We don't need to throw this out into the stratosphere on the 18th of September. Let's take a beat. Let's get through a few more games. But I think in the grand scheme, I think that's – you want your locker room feeling this confident. You just don't want them to portray it out in the public square like Sheedo did.
I'll tell you this much, Tausch. The Coors Lights were tasting good when the Packers were 1-0. They were tasting better when they were 2-0. And if they were 17-0, oh, wow, would that be a fun time come January.
Whether you're tailgating pregame and enjoying your experience during the game or celebrating a big win after the game, and you just need a moment to chill, crack open that Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Make sure, because it's still warm out. 80-plus the last stretch here. Make sure those mountains are blue. That's when you know Coors Light's cold-activated bottles and cans are chilled to perfection. Coors Light is made to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company at Golden, Colorado.
Jordan Love appeared on The Rich Eisen Show on ESPN Radio earlier this week. We're going to hear some of what he said in a quick round of Did You Hear This? That's coming up next on Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. Stay the course. Wisconsin football looking to rebound after the lopsided loss at Alabama. As Bucky approaches Big Ten play, Barry Alvarez offering advice to Luke Fickell and co. to avoid the noise. More from Coach during the latest episode of The Barry Alvarez Show.
They can say whatever they want. It's about the coach and the kids. When you lose, you're going to get criticized. That's just human nature. Listen, whether it be the Packers or anybody, any place across the country. And we have a very avid fan base here. They care, and I appreciate that.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. PellaWI.com.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Open daily for lunch and dinner, Liberty Station serves American comfort food with regional touches using many locally sourced ingredients. The bar at Liberty Station offers vintage cocktails created in a classic style, local craft beers, plus a wide array of wine options. And be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area. Liberty Station, conveniently located just off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
When it comes to your health, do you want to buy something online or do you want to meet with someone local? A local doctor with a family-owned business that cares about you. That's right, you want to meet with Nestor Rodriguez and Ashley Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. You have questions about cryotherapy, red light therapy, hormone replacement treatments, GLP-1s, or you just want to have a great workout. Carbon World Health is there for you. They have a new location in Sun Prairie and they have their original location in Madison. So when it comes to your health, there's nowhere better to go than Carbon World Health in Madison and now in Sun Prairie.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
It's kickoff time at Metro Ford of Madison, and we're bringing the heat with unbeatable truck deals. Get the 2025 F-150 Lightning with 0% APR for 72 months, $13.89 per $1,000 borrowed, or tackle any job with the 2024 F-150 or F-150 XLT, now at 2.9 APR for 66 months, $16.41 per $1,000 borrowed. These offers end September 30th, so don't fumble your chance to save. Visit MetroFordofMadison.com and score your next truck today.
The people have spoken, and the results are undeniable. Ridgetop Exteriors delivers. We swept the People's Choice Awards. Best roofing, best siding, best windows, and best overall home improvement company. That's not just winning, that's setting the standard with expert craftsmanship, top materials, and service that keeps homeowners coming back. 4 categories, 4 wins, 1 name. Ridgetop Exteriors, your only choice for home exteriors. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com and experience the difference today.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
It's football season in Wisconsin and the energy is electric. Get ready to fuel up the hype with Monster Energy. With bold flavors and that legendary kick, Monster gives you the power to go all 4 quarters. Whether you're tailgating before the big game, watching with friends at home, or catching every play at your favorite spot. Because game day isn't just about football. It's about bringing the energy wherever you are. Stop by your local Piggly Wiggly to pick up a Monster Energy drink today. Monster Energy. Unleash the beast.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
I don't think he would say. I don't find everything Jordan Love says to be very interesting.
You think he's boring?
I think he's very boring. Yeah. I think he does it on purpose.
You think he is that by design? Because he's a quarterback and he understands his words carry a lot of power? Or do you think he's just a boring dude?
I think he's just kind of boring. Just that's just kind of his. I think he's kind of he's very focused. He's dialed in. Seems like a nice guy. We were up close with him at the AmFam Championship this year. Been around him a couple of times. Like I think he's a nice guy. I just think he's kind of boring. But.
Boy, isn't that something? Because y'all, when Rodgers was in his drama and always in the news, everybody complained that he's too dramatic and everything else. And now Jordan Love is a worker, he's a leader, and he's boring, and y'all are complaining about him being boring. Because I've heard this from other media folks, too.
I'm not complaining that he's boring. I'm just saying I think
Riley,
he
did it
is
sound like
boring.
he was complaining?
It did sound a little gripish.
Yeah, like he's boring.
Just not.
I don't think what he said. Jesse, what you basically said here was, we're going to play this audio. It sucks. I'm bored by it, but I don't find everything he says interesting like Jason fakes like he does. That's what you basically said.
So we get these these batches of audio clips come around from every media availability or appearance, and when Rodgers did his locker room press conferences, his post game press conferences,
Rodgers always said something interesting, and we'd have to respond, and you guys got annoyed by that too.
But now I get the Jordan Love ones.
What do you guys want? Just for the record, listen, I analyze. I analyze.
Yeah, you're an analyst.
You give me something, I'll analyze it. If I think it sucks, I'll say it sucks, and we move on. You guys are always, I got to listen to McAfee because Rodgers is on. Oh, now Jordan Love is on. What do you want? What do you want from your quarterback? Just say something interesting once a year? Or do you want it to be, what are you looking for from your starting quarterback?
I don't know. Something that. What
do you mean you don't know?
I don't know what
You've
I'm
been
looking
doing this 8 years. What do you mean you don't know?
Now I am in Wilde's turn. I don't know.
No, that's funny.
I want something. I don't like generic cliche talk. So I don't mind if you don't say something interesting, but I don't want I could write the script a lot of times that I think Jordan Love is going to say and get pretty close to it.
I think what would be a fun game is Jason tells you next time he's going to ask Jordan a question. You guys get that set up, and then you write the script out, and we'll see how close you are.
That's actually a great game. Let's play that. Next time, Jason will say, here's the question I asked Jordan Love, and then I will write a script predicting what the answer is.
Yep.
And then we'll compare it to what Jordan Love actually says.
And by the way, for a leader of an organization like Jordan is, if I'm the president of the if I'm Ed Policy, that is exactly what I want. I don't want guys going off on aliens and I don't mind it in the off season. If you want to go do that stuff, that's fine. I found from a media standpoint, I find it much more interesting that you can jump into that stuff. But from an organizational standpoint, this is what I want, is what Jordan Love does.
So, okay, we're going to bypass the game, did you hear this? But here's what I want to do. I'm going to play one, maybe two clips here. So, Riley, let's play this one. Jordan Love was asked during his appearance on the Rich Eisen
Jesse,
show earlier this week.
We do have the chance to actually stay on the clock. It's 10:02. You could. Then we could tell Jason we actually are on the clock. But you go ahead.
No, we're not going to do that. Come on. Okay. There's something I want to get after Demovsky for before
Riley,
he comes
just
on
for
with
the
us.
record, I want to make sure, because Jesse kills me all the time
about
not being on the clock, saying it's my fault. I just want to for the record, make sure we put this on the docket.
It is on the docket. It is marked and ready to be cut and used in the future.
Hand up. This is on me for continuing. Although the more you talk about us not being on the clock, the further off the clock we are, which is quite the situation to be in.
It's always somebody else's fault.
Jordan Love was asked during his appearance on the Rich Eisen show what his expectations are in year 3 as the Packers' starting quarterback. Here is how Jordan Love answered that question.
Going into year 3 as a starter, I've learned so much and been building up and taking every rep and just learning from it and growing. And so I think this year, not just me, but the team we have, the offense we got, the weapons we have around us, the O-line, the running back with Josh Jacobs. So we got weapons, and I think we've all been building this thing together and, learning about each other and learning how we can evolve as an offense. So, I've been saying it, the sky's the limit, but it always comes down to going out there and performing on Sundays. And I think the way we started the season on offense, we've been been doing a great job. And I think there's still, the fun part about it is there's still plays that we haven't hit on, some really big explosive plays that once we start hitting those, we're going to take off, be running. So I'm excited. I feel good. I feel confident. And I got a lot of playmakers around me. So we got to keep going out there and making it happen on Sundays.
All right, so I got 5 or 6 cliches in there, but also he said there's a lot of big plays they haven't hit on yet. That's interesting. That's what I want from my quarterback. That's the clip that I want.
Yeah, not everything is going to be a world setting, whatever it is. Like, find the clips that you think are interesting and then talk about those.
And that's what that one was.
I agree. He does speak a lot of coach talk. It's up to the journalist and the media to try to find a different angle that is unique, and Rich did a great job. I don't even know what question he asked. But Jordan, to say that, I think that's been kind of the Matthew, I think what he's referring to is Matthew Golden. He's hit on some other plays. Obviously, he's hit some big plays to Tucker and Romeo, the guys that he has had a lot of history with and a lot of chemistry built up. I think what he's saying without saying and how you decipher it is Matthew Golden is getting open. The ASS deal that we talked about yesterday, he sees that. They know that. And now all of a sudden maybe he's going to look and say, well, they're going to have to start covering Kraft more. Romeo, they know he's kind of my guy. Who is going to be that emerging guy that can alleviate some of the pressure off of those guys? And the answer is going to be Matthew Golden. So that, to me, is what you're looking for. And then you throw in a bunch of canned cliche coach talk. That's how I want my quarterback of a professional team to talk.
He said 2 other things on Rich Eisen's show earlier this week, but it was kind of boring, so I think we're going to move on.
Okay, also, Jesse, why would you have an issue with Jordan Love being boring when you have Jaden Reed saying on live the Packers are going to the Super Bowl, Rasheed Walker saying the Packers are going undefeated? Let the other players be interesting.
I don't have an issue with Jordan Love being boring. I'm just stating I think he is boring. That's okay. Like Tim in Oregon texts in, Joe Montana was apparently boring in interviews. I don't know if that was true or not. Tausch, do you know growing up, like, was Joe Montana boring? I don't know.
I don't know. He has that fun clip where he's calling his wife from the sideline phone. That's fun. I don't think that's boring. I have no clue to what degree he, was saying inflammatory things or saying provocative stuff. The media was a lot different than it is now.
Tom Brady was boring when he was with the Patriots, and then he went to Tampa, and suddenly he wasn't boring. It is
exactly
comes and goes for everybody. So I have no issue with Jordan Love being boring. I just wanted to state for the record, I think he is boring a lot of the time. That's all. Okay. And that's why we didn't do a full round of Did You Hear This from Jordan Love on The Rich Eisen Show, but you can go back and find the full conversation of The Rich Eisen Show on the ESPN app. Coming up next, before we get to ESPN Packers reporter Rob Demovsky, scheduled to appear coming up at 10:15, ESPN's NFL Nation shared their quarterback takeaways from the first 2 weeks of the season. I want to see if Tausch agrees with what Rob Demovsky's takeaway on Jordan Love. Not my takeaway that he's boring. Whatever Rob said about his play on the field is. We'll do that to start the 10 o'clock hour in 2 minutes. Oh, we're a little behind. Go figure. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Hey, it's Kelly Sheffield, Wisconsin Badgers volleyball head coach. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison. My name is Riley Yauk, and this is your Sports Center update, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. MilwaukeeBrewers.com. The Milwaukee Brewers continue their inevitable march toward the National League Central crown as they demolished the Angels last night by a score of 9-2. Actually, the second straight win over LA by that exact score, 9-2. Blake Perkins, Rake Perkins to some, led the way with 2 clutch hits and 5 RBIs. And the summer of Sal continued, or maybe now we're in the fall of Sal, as he hammered a 3-run shot to right field to really put the game out of reach. The Crew's magic number is now down to 6 to clinch the NL Central. It's a combination of Brewers wins and Cubs losses, although the Cubs aren't helping out too much. They've taken the first 2 in their series against the Pirates. Series finale with the Halos is tonight. First pitch is scheduled for 6:40 p.m. Central Time, with pregame coverage beginning at 6:05 right here on Madison's home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Wilde and Tausch, Jesse and Tausch today. Jason Wilde on assignment today. Having a fun day away from the show. He'll tell us all about it tomorrow. Tausch and I, by the way, tomorrow live at TPC, Wisconsin for the Greater Bucky Open. Always one of our favorite shows we get to go to every year. So.
Hopefully you get to talk through the the Sports Center time when that'll be something.
Yep, the very emotional speech about the UW Carbone Cancer Center going on simultaneous to me telling everyone that Wisconsin is a 12-point favorite against Michigan coming up Saturday at Camp Randall Stadium. A day that will live in infamy.
That was a fun day.
On Wilde and Tausch. ESPN Packers reporter Rob Demovsky coming up next with Jason not being on the show today. Thought, well, let's still have someone from the beat come on with us. So Rob usually joins us on Fridays. He's joining us on Thursday this week. Over at ESPN.com, we reviewed the power rankings earlier this week. We did not get into the little blurb that the NFL Nation reporters, including Rob, all shared in the power rankings. They were asked to share their biggest quarterback takeaway for the team they cover after 2 weeks of this season. Tausch, what is your biggest takeaway of Jordan Love after the first 2 games for the Packers this year?
That's a fun question to ask. I think he's taking better calculated risks. He's been bigger plays than what we've seen. And I don't know if that's what this will play out, but when you start looking at some of the shots that they've taken, I don't know, and I remember Orlovsky saying this after Micah Parsons got picked up by the Packers, and assuming this defense was going to be a lot better, which it is, that the quarterback can be more aggressive because if you make a mistake, the defense can erase it. I think that's where this is going. I don't know. It's been such a weird first 2 weeks. It feels like we haven't played in forever. But big play opportunities, even though you haven't hit on all of them, I think that's what I would say about Jordan Love so far.
So big play opportunities. Okay, that's not what Rob said. His biggest quarterback takeaway for Jordan Love after 2 weeks, Jordan Love has not found a number 1 wide receiver yet.
Oh, I disagree.
Let me read
Tucker Kraft is, and I know he's not a receiver, but Tucker Kraft is his go-to. He is his A1. And then Romeo Doubs is next. And then I don't know what the stat line would tell you, but maybe not the number 1 like a Jamar Chase, but it seems as if he's got his guys that he leans on.
So Rob says losing Jaden Reed, and we can talk about this with Rob coming up next. Losing Jaden Reed to a broken collarbone early in the Week 2 win won't help Love identify a go-to guy. Through 2 games, tight end Tucker Kraft leads the Packers with 8 catches for 140 yards, 2 touchdowns. Among the receivers, Dontavian Wicks leads in catches and Dobbs leads in yards. Rookie Matthew Golden has just 2 catches for 16 yards, but Love missed him twice on what could have been big plays against Washington. You mentioned the big plays. So Rob says he has not identified a go-to guy. You say it's Tucker Kraft.
It is, yeah. I think there's nobody that's going to argue that. I think it's Tucker Kraft. But I do look at the the grand scheme and what Rob is saying, the fact that Wicks has the most catches surprises me. That's something that I wouldn't have guessed. I would have thought it would have been Romeo Doubs. So there is still, and maybe until Golden kind of emerges, they want to keep it this way. I don't think they want to have where it's until someone super elevates themselves and then gets paid. I think Green Bay likes the idea of the Friends Ensemble cast. I think Rob probably hit that. But Tucker Kraft is the go-to A1 guy for Jordan Love right now.
We'll talk about that more with Rob Demovsky, who is scheduled to appear coming up next from Green Bay, sharing his insights on the Packers as they get set to visit the Cleveland Browns' first road contest of the 2025 season. Rob Demovsky coming up next. If Jason was here today, he'd be telling you about Associated Bank. The only thing better than payday is early payday. With Associated Bank's early pay on direct deposits, you can get your money up to 2 days early. With direct deposit, you got it. No hoops to jump through, more peace of mind, because we've got you covered. Early pay will make payday available in your checking account up to 2 days earlier. With direct deposit, you got it. And if you already have Access Checking, consider upgrading to Balanced or Choice Checking. Direct deposit makes your life easier on payday. No need for a trip to the bank, and you'll enjoy additional advantages like convenience, peace of mind, and early pay. Plus, if you're an Associated Bank card holder, of course, you get the great perks like going into the Associated Bank entrance at American Family Field at the Brewers games, which is what I've gotten to do several times this year. Now, on bobblehead days or days of big giveaways, the Euchre celebration day, let me tell you, going through that Associated Bank gate out in center field is a game changer. You got this with Associated Bank, member FDIC. Rob Demovsky scheduled to appear coming up next. That's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf, before, during, and after the sale. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Wisconsin sports fans, Brian Balaga here from my friends at Surfside. Football season is back, and we're bringing you your tailgate must-have. There's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your home team. Made with real vodka and real brewed tea, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Ask for it at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best local sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see the teams recognized for making a positive impact in the community. It's the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? For a limited time at TPC Wisconsin, enjoy full golf privileges and all club amenities without full dues. Pay just $150 per month through March to maintain your full golf membership with no golf dues until April 1st. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Schedule a tour or submit a membership inquiry at tpcwisconsin.com and start enjoying the private golf club experience you deserve. That's tpcwisconsin.com.
At Wisconsin Surplus Online Auction, you won't have to worry about your old lawnmower pulling a hamstring. They make buying and selling easy. Wisconsin Surplus Online Auction is simple, reliable, and unlike your fantasy team this football season, they'll actually deliver. Have equipment taking up space? Let them be your surplus solution. You send it in, they list it, people bid, and you actually win. Bid, buy, sell, and score big today at WisconsinSurplus.com. Because winning isn't just for game day. WisconsinSurplus.com.
When it comes to your health, do you want to buy something online or do you want to meet with someone local? A local doctor with a family-owned business that cares about you. That's right, you want to meet with Nestor Rodriguez and Ashley Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. You have questions about cryotherapy, red light therapy, hormone replacement treatments, GLP-1s, or you just want to have a great workout. Carbon World Health is there for you. They have a new location in Sun Prairie and they have their original location in Madison. So when it comes to your health, there's nowhere better to go than Carbon World Health in Madison and now in Sun Prairie.
Game day starts on Regent Street. Fuel up before every Wisconsin football home game at the Monster Energy tent. Grab free samples, snag some Monster gear, and get your energy up before kickoff. The best football pregame start with Monster Energy.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Jesse and Tausch today on Wilde and Tausch. Jason Wilde on assignment today. He will be back tomorrow. So we get set for Packers-Browns Sunday in Cleveland. So we replace Jason for this segment only with someone else on the Green Bay Packers beat, friend of show, ESPN Packers reporter Rob Demovsky, live from Green Bay. Good morning, Rob. How you doing?
Good, Jesse. How are you?
We are wonderful. Tausch has had better weeks. Have you ever thrown out a ceremonial first pitch?
No, but I was the bat boy for the White Sox, which I think we've discussed on the show.
We
before.
have covered that before, yeah.
Hey, Rob, that's interesting because after I butchered the first pitch, we had great seats, and the bat boy, there were a lot of splintered bats. And I was wondering, I knew they wouldn't give us a bat, but we were literally sitting right by the bat boy. They just dump them? What do you do with the busted bats?
Yeah, I was only bat boy for one day. It was an honorary position. I wasn't the full-time bat boy. But I do remember the people sitting right behind the on-deck circle just kept begging for bats, like begging for, can I have the bat? Can I have the bat? I don't know what happened to them, but real quick, and not that this is what we're here to talk about, but Tausch, to all the haters, forget them, right? Who cares? You've been in the arena, they haven't been. So, but the bat, my favorite part of the whole bat boy story was it was a day game at Old Comiskey, and it was really windy, and the hot dog wrappers kept, going onto the field, and the umpire kept having to stop the game. And Tony La Russa was the White Sox manager at the time, and he told me to go out there and pick up all the hot dog wrappers. Well, the crowd started getting restless because, A, it's Chicago, and B, the White Sox stunk, and so people started booing. Like every time I went out there to pick up the hot dog wrapper, people started booing me. And so Tony La Russa calls me over. Hey, kid, next time you go out there and the crowd does that, just tip your cap to him. Well, Tony La Russa told me to do it, so I did it. The crowd started laughing.
That's amazing.
So forget the haters in a baseball game. That's what I say.
Absolutely.
I forgot how this came to be. How did you get to be the honorary bat kid for a day?
I think a friend of my dad's worked in the White Sox front office, and they did that. Like, they had every game there was like an honorary bat kid or whatever. So I got there like 4 hours before the game. I played catch with Bobby Bonilla, who was a rookie on the White Sox at the time. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool. Thanks for sharing that story. That's amazing. All right, let's talk Packers. So the Cleveland Browns are the opponent on Sunday. Before we get into what lies ahead in Cleveland, we were just reviewing your latest blurb in the ESPN Power Rankings this week. Your biggest takeaway on Jordan Love after 2 weeks. And you said he hasn't found a number one go-to wide receiver yet. Tausch disagrees with you. So, Rob, would you like to have the floor and elaborate on
Well,
why?
let me, before Rob disagreed, the more I looked
let
at
me go
it,
read,
wide
let me go read
receiver,
what I
yes.
wrote. Let me go read what I wrote.
Rob,
will
will
tell you
you
why he
agree
disagrees,
Tucker Kraft is his go-to, but from a receiver standpoint, I think you're 100% right, but Tucker Kraft is his go-to guy, no?
Yeah, right. Well, I believe I said here, through 2 games, Tucker Kraft leads the Packers with 8 catches for 140 yards. Yeah. No, you're right. And like, it's fine that he has, you can be a really good team with Tucker Kraft or any tight end as your go-to number one receiver. There's no question about it. But from all this talk about, the receiving thing, which we've had for seriously like 2 years now, I don't think we're any closer to identifying that as the case. And this is not a knock on Matthew Golden in any way, shape, or form, because I'd love to go back, and I think I will go back and look at the first 2 games for Jordy Nelson or the first 2 games for Devontae Adams. Like, it's not that surprising that he's off to a slow start. The only surprising thing is that, we saw him catch a million passes every day in training camp, and he's only got 2 catches for whatever it is, a few yards at this point. Now, he had 2 big opportunities that Jordan Love missed him on the other day. But, look, the assignment, Tausch, sometimes you got to call the run the play the coach calls. The assignment was something to the effect of what is your quarter? Let's see here. What was I don't even remember what the assignment was. The number one thing we've learned about your starting quarterback. Well, like we've learned and we know about Jordan Love, so I kind of took off from there. So,
well, Tausch,
I'm gonna blame the assignments on this one.
Blame the editor. Blame whoever asked. That's always a good way to go.
Tell Rob what you said you think you've learned about Jordan Love, Tausch. See if he agrees with that.
I think I believe obviously Jordan Love last season was injured. He was unable to. He's obviously healthy and more apt. We saw the angry run. We see him out of the pocket, and he said that last year he wouldn't have even probably tried that. But it feels like he is thinking more big plays. And I know they haven't hit on all of them, but the big play to Tucker Kraft, we're at least thinking bigger plays. And I don't know, Orlovsky said something interesting after the Micah Parsons trade, and that is that now Jordan and Matt LaFleur can maybe be more aggressive because you have these erasers on defense that you don't feel like you have to play perfect football on offense.
No, that's a great point. And Wilde brought this up. I can't remember if it was when I was on or if he brought it up. I think he brought it up to Jordan or LaFleur. He said, when you guys had, Woodson and those guys, he would tell Rodgers, hey, don't worry about it, man. If you make a mistake, we'll get the ball back for you. And same thing with Leroy Butler and Reggie, back for Brett. Like, hey, you take some chances because we're gonna get you the ball back. And there might be something to that. I think he's not wrong in that mentality being a real thing.
There's no doubt. And I think it's one thing to actually say it, and it's another thing to actually do it. And you're seeing some of that. Rob, is this the most – do you feel as confident as what – I don't know if you were there when Rashid said what he said. That's obviously got a lot of traction about going undefeated. But this team, it doesn't feel like a crazy thing to say. I don't think they're going to go undefeated, but I think they could be favored the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a real shot that they go into the Philly game. What would that be, 8-0 or that's on
I think 8
November,
or 9-0.
Yeah, November 10th. I mean, I think that's a real possibility. I mean, sure, you look at the schedule. They probably could or should be favored in just about every game. Look, I think, it happens to even the greatest teams. You trip up somewhere once or twice. I mean, I think of was it the 15-1 season, going to a terrible Kansas City team
Kansas City.
at 13-0, losing that game in Kansas City to an interim head coach. Like, you just never know. I mean, there's some stumbling blocks. Like, I mean, look, Arizona looks like they might be a little bit better than we think, and that's a road game, and Pittsburgh, who knows what happens with Rodgers? Does he catch lightning in a bottle and just go crazy? But yeah, this is a darn good team that knows it's a good team. Like, to me, that's the difference right now, is that when you walk up and down that locker room, this is a group that knows they're pretty good, and not like just taking it for granted, but it's more of an energizing and galvanizing feeling that they have everything they need to go win a championship.
Have you ever heard a player talk as nonchalantly about going undefeated as Rasheed Walker did yesterday?
After 2 weeks.
Yeah.
After 2 weeks.
Yeah. It's a little early, and, I love Rasheed. He doesn't talk to us a whole heck of a lot, so maybe he feels like he has to maximize his opportunities to get his name out there. I don't know. I'm kidding, but yeah, it's hey, let's talk in 2 months, and we'll see where we're at.
That's a good point. So, Rob, you heard yesterday, basically, Banks said he's playing, right? The assumption is that he's going to be playing. Zach Tom, to me, it sounds like he's not playing. If somebody tells you they can't run, that doesn't bode well.
It's interesting, Tausch, because if you just looked at the injury report, both guys were limited, right? But this is I said this on SportsCenter yesterday. The injury. Notice how I dropped that in there, by the way. The injury report.
Actually, you did it so subtly, I didn't even notice.
It's like Rasheed Walker saying they're going to go undefeated. Yeah.
The injury report doesn't tell the whole story, and that's why you got to go talk to players, right? I mean, it's why we're in the locker room every day, because both of those guys were listed as limited. Well, when you talk to Zach Tom, he's like, "Hey, I didn't even do any team drills. I just did some individual." And he's like, I'm okay side to side, but running forward, is hard to do. I can't repeat this on the radio, but we were watching the one-on-one drills or the individual drills early in practice, and Zach Tom looked a little slow and sloppy coming out of his break. And offensive line coach Luke Butkus described something else that he thought looked slow and sloppy, and that's what he said. Zach Tom, that rep looked exactly like blank. I'm not going to say what it is, but
I think I know what you're saying. Okay. So, Rob, if that is indeed the case, and we don't think Zach Tom's going to play, do you agree with that premise? You feel?
Yeah, I do. I agree with that premise. Yep.
So, who's playing right tackle? Is
Anthony
it going to be
Belton.
Morgan? Is it going to be?
Yeah, they're all in on Anthony Belton. I mean, they've talked him up. Other than the penalty the other day, they loved how he played. It's funny because the coaches really praised him. Zach Tom was kept it a little bit more real. He's like, look, it was a great start. He's got some things he needs to clean up from a technical standpoint. I love when other players become position coaches, right? Like they sort of sometimes tell it like it is. And Anthony Belton was certainly not perfect. But here's the other thing, Tausch, too. If Belton plays or whoever plays, most likely, unless the Browns do something out of character, is not going to see Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett lined up. I think it was I looked this up yesterday. It was 70 rushes this year. He's lined up across from the left tackle 63 of the 70 times or something like that. I mean, it's not, and maybe they will say, oh, there's a rookie over there, we're going to move him. But for the most part, in Myles Garrett's career, he plays right defensive end, which obviously goes up against the left tackle. So, probably not as big of a concern as maybe you would think.
Yeah, and they're going to probably, I would think, move him around, especially if Sheeto is blocking him. But that'll give Sheeto a chance to continue on this undefeated path that he's setting. I asked this question yesterday, and I'd love to get your take on it. For 3 games, not for a full season, who do you think is the most irreplaceable Green Bay Packer on this roster right now?
Ooh, I'd probably say Micah Parsons, just because of what he's brought to the table. I mean, no knock on Jordan Love. Obviously, the starting quarterback, super important. They managed to survive pretty well last year with Malik Willis. I think they trust him at a high level. I'm going to say Micah for what he has brought to this team and just how he makes everybody around him a little bit more impactful.
Okay, what if I told you Elton Jenkins? Because I do believe the depth and the center position. I don't know. They're going to put Sean Ryan in there. I don't know how good of a center Sean Ryan is.
Yeah.
I think that was the one for me, because the same thing with Jordan Love. I feel like if it's for a season, okay. But I think everybody over there feels really good that if something does happen, if Jordan hurts his hamstring or something and he misses a couple weeks, they feel great they're going to win with Malik Willis. Yeah. I think Elton Jenkins and where they're at depth-wise, especially if Banksy's kind of in and out of the lineup, Elton is the guy to me that I think is just irreplaceable for this year's team.
Yeah, and we saw what it looked like this summer when Elton was not practicing at times due to a variety of things. And, just from a pure snapping standpoint, they had all kinds of trouble just with the shotgun snaps, the exchanges. So I see where you're coming from. I still think I do think Sean Ryan's a pretty good player. And, I would feel okay about that. I'd at least like to see it, before I make any massive, indictment on it. But I put him on the list for sure. I mean, if you're talking about 5 guys that you don't want to lose, I would put Elton on that list for sure.
But doesn't that tell you that this team is just different? Because in the past, you Devontae or Rodgers, or you would look at it and say it's over. Here, it does feel like they have almost an answer to every question if something does happen.
Yeah, it's funny because we have hardly talked, and maybe that's on us as the beat group, but we've hardly talked about Jaden Reed's absence this week. I mean, just sort of rolled with it. They got all these. They got Matthew Golden, they've got Dobbs. They've got Savion Williams. They've got Wicks, who's now catching everything thrown his way. So, you lose, arguably your most versatile receiver, and you don't even talk about it. I think that's a pretty strong statement about what they have as well.
Talking with ESPN Packers reporter Rob Demovsky on Wilde and Tausch, Jesse and Tausch today. So speaking to that, Rob, it's been all sunshine and roses because everything was so great. The 2 wins are spectacular. They're going to Cleveland. They're going to Dallas. Feel pretty good about what that looks like. Have you noticed anything in the first 2 games just to say there's got to be room for improvement in something here in the first 2 weeks? Is there a trend or anything that you've noticed that is a spot for concern?
Yeah, I would look at Josh Jacobs' yards per carry. I think he's around 3.5. Last year he was right around 4.5. And look, this is not a knock on Josh Jacobs because if you watch especially the first halves of games, I mean, it's clear these teams are loading up to stop the run and take that away. And a lot of Josh's yards, especially against Detroit in the second half, were hard-earned after contact yards. But I think you'd like to get him back to, over 4 yards a carry. You'd like to have a game where he has, 110, 115, 120 yards, just to show people that it's there. I'm not saying you have to live that way, but it's a nice way to live if you need to do it. And I would say that's what happens if Jordan has a game where he's not as accurate, he misses more throws than he's missed so far, and you're not running the ball great. So far Jordan's been pretty sharp. His completion percentage is really high. So I don't think it's a big concern right now, but at some point, it's even the best quarterbacks are going to have off days. And when that happens, you'd like to have something else to hang your hat on. And I would say right now, just trying to get Josh Jacobs going a little bit. And the run, it's not just Josh, it's the run unit as a whole. I think that would ease whatever concerns people might have.
And you know how much we love our power rankings around here. I was asked this earlier this week. I asked Jason and Tausch, and I want to ask you now. I think everyone acknowledges there's kind of a tier 1 of NFL teams through the first 2 weeks. Philadelphia, Green Bay, Baltimore, Buffalo. Of those 4, how would you rank them, and where do the Packers fit into that puzzle?
Ooh, I would probably go. That's a hard one. I'd probably put the Packers second, for sure. I just don't know if I have Baltimore, Buffalo. I have the Packers behind Philly. I think maybe I know they played different teams, but Philly has had to at least maybe play a little bit more deeper into games than the Packers have. What is that? What does that say?
Oh, he's not familiar, Tausch.
Nut whack. Philadelphia, never underestimate the heart of a champion.
Okay.
So until someone knocks them off or they dip,
Oh.
Philly's got to be ahead of Green Bay.
It's obvious
No.
that's what that is.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I would, if I have to make a pick right now, I'd probably go Buffalo, Green Bay, Philly, Baltimore.
Okay, interesting.
Rob, when do you, before we let you go, when do you start thinking I need to block off the early part of February? Like, when does that start getting it? It's not yet, but I can guarantee if your wife says, Rob, I'd love to go to Greece February 6th, are you now telling her, we better hold off?
Yeah, for sure this year, absolutely 100%. But I would say this, Tausch, I probably don't even I probably go into every year thinking that the first possible vacation week is February 12th or whatever that is after Super Bowl. And then I slowly move it back as the season goes on. We'll be okay. I mean, heck, 2 years ago, the 9-8 year, I was ready to go somewhere January 10th or whatever. And then Jordan obviously caught fire and they finished 9-8 and win in Dallas. So, but yeah, like right now, the post hasn't moved. It's still way out there. So it hasn't started to come in just yet.
And Rob, as we depart, I will say congratulations on being the first Boldathon prediction officially eliminated from the 2025 Wilde and Tausch. It was a heck of a run for you, Rob. Brandon McManus missing on Thursday night.
Yeah, I leaned over in the press box the other night when he missed, and I said to Jason, I go, well, that was a fun 5.5 quarters while it lasted.
He gave it a run, and he can still kick a game winner in the Super Bowl, and I still don't think you would be finishing in the top half of the Boldathon predictions, but that's just the way it goes. Rob, thanks so much. Appreciate the insights. Have fun. You going to Cleveland this weekend?
I'm going to Cleveland.
All
Hello,
right.
as they said in Spinal Tap. Hello, Cleveland.
Is there a concert, or are you going to hit the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? What do you do?
You don't get there that often, yeah.
No, I have my college roommate lives there, so I'm putting it in his hands. We're gonna see if we can find something to do.
All right.
Well, we look forward to you reporting back with us next week. Yeah, Cuyahoga. Yep. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it.
All right, we'll see ya.
ESPN Packers reporter Rob Demovsky joining us. He's getting set to go. I went to that Browns-Packers game the last time they played in Cleveland.
I'm kind of surprised this game has you and your buddies written all over like the road trip. Easy Sunday. It's not that bad of a drive. It's scenic. You can, get there. You like the Rust Belt. Why not pick this game?
Well, we already did Cleveland. That's what I'm saying here. Cleveland was our first road Packers game we went to. It was Deshaun Kaiser versus Brett Hundley in 2017, I believe it was. Went to overtime. That was the Browns' 0-16 year, and that was the closest they came to winning at all that year. So we've been to Cleveland. That was in December. It was cold and miserable. We did not have a ton of fun. That's why Detroit was so great in January, because it was indoors. Obviously, the game stunk.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
And it's a little early in the season for a Packers road trip. We went to Nashville when they played there back in, I forget what year that was, in 18, 19, something like that. 16 it might even have been. But
so are you guys doing a trip, or are you not doing a trip?
We were looking, if we're going to do, I don't think we're going to do one this year. But there was,
why?
If we're going to do one.
Hey, Jesse, let me tell you a little something.
Yeah.
As your life gets, let's say, more complicated, if and when you're blessed with that, you're not going to be able to do those trips. So why not do it now?
I think that's what we're already running into is, many of our friends are at the point where their lives are getting more complicated, and I think we'll be there pretty soon too, I would think. Denver.
Breaking news?
No. Denver in December would be a very, and I know you say that's the game the Packers are going to lose this year, but
that's a long drive. But you're going to drive. That's a long drive.
We'd probably
gnarly
fly.
Winter.
We'd probably fly that one. Fly into Denver.
Okay. Oh, look at you, growing
Yeah,
up.
we can grow up a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Fly to Denver. Thanks to Rob Demovsky for joining us and breaking down all things Packers. Some good insights and observations there from Rob. There was one thing he said in particular that stood out to me. We're going to talk about that a little more extensively coming up next. Don't go anywhere. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
The Midwest's best baseball players have one thing in common: GRB Academy. For 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement, producing over 468 college commits and 27 major league draft picks. Their Windsor facility has 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training space. Next up to bat is GRB's Top Prospect Camp on Sunday, October 12th, open to the high school classes of 2026 through 2029. Claim your spot now at grbacademy.com.
At J&K Security Solutions, protecting your home or business is more than just a priority. It's what we do. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. Since 1987, J&K Security Solutions has been committed to providing Madison and Southern Wisconsin with dependable security solutions. Whether it's security, fire, or the latest automation solutions, go to jksecurity.com to see how J&K can help keep your home or business secure. Get protected now at jksecurity.com.
Pizza lovers, when the craving hits, hit back with Pizza Hut's $5 crafted flats pizzas. Mark Tauscher here, and new at Pizza Hut, 5 bold, hand-stretched personal pizza recipes. 3 cheese, pepperoni duo, the ultimate, and for a limited time, chicken bacon ranch, and Nashville hot chicken. All just $5 each all day. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or game day. Order your $5 handcrafted flats at pizzahut.com or on the Pizza Hut app. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
The search for luxury begins at Audi Madison. Save $5,500 when you purchase or lease a new 2025 Audi Q7 55. National customer credit is good toward the purchase, finance, or lease of a new Audi, but is only available until September 30th. Stop in and test drive today. Check out AudiMadison.com to see current inventory and specials. Start your adventure at Audi Madison today, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semrau with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Hayden Anderson from Mount Horeb High School, but it's Mount Horeb Barneveld football.
Correct.
Mount Horeb Barneveld has won 4 conference titles in a row.
Yep, for sure. We're going for the 5-peat on conference, but our main goal is the state championship.
When you look back in your time at Mount Horeb High School, just being in this environment, what does that mean to you?
Just having that many people support you in such a small town means so much. And like everyone thinks about that 2015 state championship team from basketball, and that's just like what we want to be. Like I remember that because I was probably like 6 years old, and everyone remembers that. That's like Mount Horeb's thing, you know? And we just really want to get that in football, basketball, and baseball. Support means everything.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Hey, it's Isaac Miller, junior defensive end in high school. 14 Division I offers. Yep, 1-4. Wisconsin, Michigan, Florida, Miami, you name it. Everyone's asking, where's Isaac going? Well, I'll tell you this. It's going to be big, it's going to be loud, and it's going to be legendary. But first, I'm hitting the weight room in my Iron Jock gear. Because no matter what logo I wear next, Iron Jock is how I get there. Stay tuned and go to ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Ohio correspondent Geriad on the text line. He will be at the game this Sunday, cheering on the Green Bay Packers in Cleveland. It makes sense. And he says, I'm not saying, I'm just saying there's tickets still available for this Sunday, and we've got a couch if you need to crash. Unfortunately, Geriot, the Wisconsin Badgers volleyball team ranked 7th in the country with a 3-set sweep at Fiserv Forum last night over Marquette, hosts 15th-ranked Florida at the Kohl Center on Sunday, simultaneously going on with the Packers game. So I will be doing my studio anchor responsibilities during that game on Sunday afternoon.
Respect. How about Riley?
Yeah, Riley's free.
It's true.
Badger game gets over. I know you do a lot of Badger pre and post.
Yeah.
Badger game should be done by 2:30-ish. Right?
Yeah, immediately after
hit the road to Cuyahoga County.
The post game, just hit the road, head on out to Cleveland.
If you left Madison by 5:00 from and you're in Sun Prairie, Monks and Sun Prairie for the post game show on Saturday. So if you left Sun Prairie at 5:00,
it takes like 6-7 hours to get there.
Hey.
You can get there by midnight. It'd be good. Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, and I have grandparents out in Toledo, so I can shack up there and then head to Cleveland.
Take them up on it, Riley.
Riley, if you could pick anybody in the office to go with you, who are you picking?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
Everybody's free to go.
Let's see. I'm going to pick John Weiser. Since he's from Ohio, he knows Ohio. He'd be able to take me to all the good spots in Cleveland.
So
show
I'm
me
not
the
going to
ropes.
Picking a marketing consultant that no one on the air knows. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I'm just saying. That's my honest answer, John, in the office.
That's a great pick.
Yeah, let me be honest, Jesse. Riley, I can't speak for Geriot because Lord knows he is a wonderful fan of ours, and he does great work on 565. I would bet that he'd let you sleep in his couch.
Well,
I do.
I'll send him a text on the text line, see if that's an option.
This is a new standard for 565 analytics. Not only is Tausch not paying for the work that he's demanding, he is now offering up their houses for people to stay. He's created Air Old T for people to stay at.
Air T&T. Air WT. That's what it's called.
A subsidiary of 565
and then,
analytics.
Hey, Riley, then you use Pluber
exactly.
to bring some of the leftovers from the fest that you guys are having out in Ohio.
Perfect. Sounds like we got it all figured out. I'll see you pretty soon, Geriot.
You know the thing, Riley will go and do that now too.
No,
so
he would do it if
he would.
No
I could
way.
see Riley pulling this off.
No, Riley.
I do.
Riley
and he could
is
be our
pooped.
on-air correspondent. Riley will call you for Green Bay post game. We'll have you jump on and tell us what it's like. You can write the whole trip off.
Yeah.
Write it off.
Now you're really making promises.
Yeah, exactly. If it's written off, I'm there.
I didn't say you could expense it. I said you could write it off, the mileage, everything else.
What do you think that means? You have a note that says, "Oh, I
Do you
traveled."
know what a write-off is?
Yes.
I don't. Explain it.
Yeah, a tax.
I don't either.
Well, I only know because never mind.
Hey, I just went to Bryant Denny. He was down in Bama last weekend. Why not Cleveland this weekend?
Yeah, if he wasn't pooped and exhausted from the trip to Tuscaloosa last week, I bet he would consider this one
I'm
to
not
Cleveland.
saying he has to. I know Riley has this enthusiasm about him that's contagious. He is an enthusiastic. He loves sports. He loves Wisconsin sports. You can feel it when he talks about it. I said before my first pitch the other day, the videographer for the Brewers, he doesn't asking me about Jimmy Rutledge and Matt Hamilton or any of our WTMJ. You know who he asked about? Riley Yauk. He said, "Boy, has that kid got some moxie. He's just a fun guy. Saw him down at Wrigley. He is a ton of fun. Tell him I said hello."
Jake
So, hello.
McHugh. He's my guy. Brewers videographer.
Well,
He's
they're
awesome.
like friends. That doesn't count.
No,
they didn't know each other.
I ran into
I didn't
him.
think they knew each other. They met each other at Wrigley.
I was walking the concourse at Wrigley Field earlier this summer. I think
yeah.
it was a game in July, and I see him walking on the concourse. He's got his media pass.
Just wait a
and he
second.
looked familiar.
I gotta pull myself away from this conversation.
yeah.
I forget. I apologize. That's my bad.
Come on back. I got a question for you about what Rob said. So I asked him about areas of concern for the team. Josh Jacobs averaging a yard less per carry than he did last year through the first 2 games. Now, circumstantially, that might make sense for a few different reasons. As the season goes on, I would expect Josh Jacobs to kind of be more the back that we know him to be. That's when running the football gets better as the season gets colder. Any concern? Because I've noticed the run game hasn't been super prevalent here in the first couple of weeks, except for garbage time when they're intentionally trying to run the clock out. Any concern about Josh Jacobs and running the football through the first 2 games for you?
Sure, I think Rob's point on it's been it's only 2 games, but it's a full yard per carry difference from what we saw last year. And last year, obviously, Josh Jacobs was, just a key cog in what we did. I think he needed to be because of Jordan, some of the limitations health-wise that Jordan had. But it's more about the offensive line gelling. You can't just snap your fingers and say, all right, this is what we're going to do. You have a new center who I think is a really good football player, and Aaron Banks hasn't been able to practice a ton. He's missed a lot of camp with the back. Elton missed a lot of time with whatever was going on with him. And you had Jordan Morgan in there. You had him playing left tackle. You just had a lot of Shido missed some time during camp too. And to think that you can just go and snap your fingers and all of a sudden you're going to become, the team that you were running the football, there's a lot of difference with fits and everything else. And as Bulaga said yesterday, just not doing a good enough job getting up to that second level. And when you don't do that, you're going to get 1 or 2 yards, and that's about it. Unless your running back breaks a ton of tackles. And, unfortunately, so far, the timing has just been off. So that would be something that I think this week you hope to get right and get started, because anytime you go on the road, what wins on the road is defense and run game. Crowd noise can affect some of your audibles. It can affect your pass protection. Run game and defense with special teams is what wins road games against good teams. How good Cleveland's obviously not in that upper echelon. That's how you go win in the NFL on the road, and that's why you'd hope to see a market increase from what we've seen so far with this run game.
So I don't want to get too far ahead of what we're going to do on the show here tomorrow, but on Prize Picks, Josh Jacobs 76.5 rushing yards projected for Sunday. You like more there? Should I start thinking about that already here?
I would think that I really thought that was going to be the case in the Washington game, and I don't know what he ended up with, but it was real hard running. I'd be a little skeptical just because I think Aaron Banks is not going to be 100%, and he's going to be such a key, that's a key piece to what you're doing running the football. But I think if I'm Matt LaFleur, that is my thought going in. I'm guessing it's going to be right, unless he busts one, which would be awesome. I'm guessing that number is probably right about. I think there's probably better opportunities that we'll look at tomorrow with Prize Picks.
Well, tomorrow we'll check out the Prize Picks of the week. It is always good to be right when we're checking the projections over from our friends at Prize Picks.
Indeed, and you and I, we make decisions every day, and on Prize Picks, being right will get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it is good to be right, and boy, is it simple to play. Download the app, and all you do, pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. You get your picks right, you cash in. You can use Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, more quick, easy deposits into your account for football season. Prize Picks also offers injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half, Prize Picks won't count that as a loss. The best way to turn your sports opinions into real cash. Which players are going to go off? Which ones aren't? Who's going to stop the run? Who's not? What receivers? What quarterbacks? All of that on Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. I like Miami's offense to have some success tonight against Buffalo. I do. I think they're beaten down. I know it's in Buffalo. I'm going to have to take a look. I think I'm going to take a look at Tua's numbers. I think Buffalo's defense isn't as good as everybody thinks.
So
Miami's offense can't be this bad. Let me finish. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
It is good to be right. I'm going to ask you coming up next. I'm going to ask you a question about tonight's game because I'm intrigued by a couple of things with this Thursday night football game tonight. We'll do that next. Still to come in the 11 o'clock hour, trivia, another ESPN NFL Nation article to debate. Plenty more to get to as we continue to look ahead to Packers-Browns coming up in week 3 of the NFL season. Don't go anywhere. No Jason Wilde. Today it's Jesse and Tausch on Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Test dress any mattress at Steinhoffels this September. Get a $20 restaurant gift card, and they'll donate $20 to Special Spaces Wisconsin. Wisconsin football looking to rebound after the lopsided loss at Alabama. As Bucky approaches Big Ten play, Barry Alvarez offering advice to Luke Fickell and co. to avoid the noise. More from Coach during the latest episode of The Barry Alvarez Show.
They can say whatever they want. It's about the coach and the kids. When you lose, you're going to get criticized. That's just human nature. Listen, whether it be the Packers or anybody, any place across the country. And we have a very avid fan base here. They care, and I appreciate that.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. PellaWI.com.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships. Still going, lowers his shoulder into the end zone. Touchdown, Wanakee.
The most compelling stories.
Where are you going to be playing basketball next year?
I'm proud and excited to announce that I'll be going to the University of Charleston.
We are now joined by the executive director of the WIAA, Stephanie Hauser.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Brian here from Canopy Wealth Management. At Canopy, we create strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. We've invested heavily in client-friendly software so your assets and plan progress are available to view in one place at any time. Whether you prefer only the high-level information or enjoy the intricate details of the planning process, we've got you covered. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Former basketball legend Shaquille O'Neal is DJ Diesel, and he's coming to the Sylvia on Friday, September 19th. Catch Shaq and his Base All-Stars live. Tickets on sale now at sylvie.com. Don't miss your chance to see Shaq, DJ Diesel live in Madison on September 19th.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. Zero sugar, zero carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Ruger Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Open daily for lunch and dinner, Liberty Station serves American comfort food with regional touches using many locally sourced ingredients. The bar at Liberty Station offers vintage cocktails created in a classic style, local craft beers, plus a wide array of wine options. And be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area. Liberty Station, conveniently located just off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Say
No Jason today. He returns tomorrow. Tausch and I will be live at TPC, Wisconsin for the Greater Bucky Open in Madison. Getting set for Wisconsin and Maryland. Big game on Saturday at Camp Randall Stadium, 11 a.m. kickoff. Tonight, Week 3 of the NFL season kicks off on Amazon Prime with the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. Tausch, coming into the season, I think everybody had Brian Daboll of the Giants as the first coach who would likely be fired. Especially,
I was on this Miami train being a disaster real early.
So
when I heard Tua call out Tyreek Hill, I knew this thing was over.
And that's where they're at. They're 0-2. It does not look good in either week for them, and no one expects that they're going to hang tough with Buffalo here tonight. It's a road game for the Dolphins in Buffalo. They are 11.5 or 12.5 point underdogs, depending on where you look. If this thing goes bad tonight with a long week before their next game, is it possible that Mike McDaniel becomes the first head coach fired after 3 games if they're 0-3?
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't think there's any question. I don't know. I guess I don't know if there's somebody in-house that is ready to rock and roll, but Miami needs a complete – that is a team that I think was fun and explosive under McDaniel, and now they're dysfunctional. And I don't think there's a ton of respect for how they're going about their business, just listening to what goes on from afar. And I think that's when you know that you're in trouble. At least with the Giants, you see Brian Daboll. I think there's a respect. I just don't know if they have enough talent. Miami has talent, but they have not been able to put it together, and they've kind of gotten that label where they couldn't win a cold weather game. They had good football teams, but they're always going to be up against it. I think they need someone to come in and really bring a toughness to what they're doing. I don't know who that is going to be, but I would think if you asked me if I had to say which coach is going to be fired in season, it would be McDaniel. I don't even know if there's anybody else close to that.
A lot of people here in our office have even said they're not really interested in the game tonight. It should be a blowout, one-sided for Buffalo. I said I'm actually really – that becomes a better game for me to see like what Mike McDaniel's interactions are with the rest of the team. If this thing gets to be like 34-10, 31-7 pretty quick tonight, I'm actually more curious what that's going to look like because – tomorrow morning, we could be hearing some news about the Miami Dolphins if that ends up being the case. So I'm interested in the Thursday night game tonight. I'll also have my eyes on the Brewers game as well as they take on the Los Angeles Angels going for a sweep, trying to get one step closer to winning the National League Central. Tausch is not allowed to comment. He's serving a 1-week self-imposed ban on talking anything Milwaukee Brewers after his first pitch from the other night. Tausch, you want to tell us about Jones Dairy Farm? You're not banned from talking about that here on Wilde and Tausch.
No, I am not. And you know what? I was just going to tell Riley that if he makes that trip over to Jerry Odds, I'm going to get him some bacon, some sausage, whatever he wants to go on that trip. And then they could cook that out. Braunschweiger, chicken meatballs. They got everything that you're looking for. And I love the fact they're best known for their all-natural sausage made from the original family recipe, pork, chicken, and turkey. But Riley looks like he eats clean. He doesn't want to put a bunch of additives in. Well, Jones been doing that forever. Made with fresh meat only, no fillers, no nitrates, no MSG or gluten. They make naturally smoked ham, Canadian bacon, dry-aged bacon, Braunschweiger, and those fully cooked meatballs. Head on over to jonesdairyfarm.com to learn more about everything they have to offer.
And speaking of things that are real or phony is one of the questions posed by ESPN's NFL Nation reporters in an article published this morning. We're going to talk about some surprise trends at the start of this season for the Packers and the other teams in the NFC North. We'll get Tausch's thoughts on if those are real or phony after 2 weeks into the season. We'll do that in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. 11 o'clock hour, Wilde and Tausch starts next.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
This is Wisconsin Volleyball National Champion Devin Robinson. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison. My name is Riley Yauk, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Wisconsin Surplus in Mount Horeb. Your homegrown auction powerhouse, from government assets to vehicles and equipment. Find your next deal at wisconsinsurplus.com. The Milwaukee Brewers continue their march, their climb toward the National League Central Division crown as they demolished the Angels last night by a score of 9-2. The second straight win over Los Angeles by a score of 9-2. Blake Perkins led the way with 2 clutch hits and 5 RBIs, and the summer of Sal continued. Maybe now it's the fall of Sal as he hammered a 3-run shot to really put it on the Angels, a 7-burger, if you will. The Crew's magic number is now down to 6 to clinch the NL Central. It's a combination of Brewers wins and Cubs losses, although the Cubs aren't helping out too much. They've beaten the Pirates in the past 2 games. The series finale with the Halos is tonight. First pitch is scheduled for 6:40 p.m. Central Time, with pregame coverage beginning at 6:05 right here on Madison's home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour, Wilde and Tausch. Jesse and Tausch today. So, okay, we can either do the real or not ESPN NFL Nation article, which I thought was pretty interesting up this morning. Or I have a question on the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line from JR in the car. I think both are good.
Let's do JR in the car. Anytime we can bring fans into it, I like doing it.
All right. Well, here it is from JR in the car. And he says he would call and ask Tausch, but we're not taking calls. We're always taking calls, JR, but the text works just fine here, so appreciate it. He says it's an odd question. I don't think it's an odd question at all. I think it's a great question. It's timely, given what we've been talking about with Rob Demovsky, and we were talking in the 9 o'clock hour as well about the state of the offensive line with Aaron Banks and Zach Tom both being listed as limited, although they're in very different spots in their injury trajectory for who may be expected to play this weekend. So here's JR in the car's question. We always talk about the prestige and importance of a first-round pick and how they are going to get their opportunities over a later round pick. You stand by that assertion. Mm-hmm. If it came down to Jordan Morgan and Aaron Banks, so first-round pick versus free agent signing, do they go with the pick or do they go with the free agent?
What a great question, JR. So they're going to always go with their free agent acquisition to start. But I do think that if Aaron Banks continues to struggle with injuries, which he's had throughout training camp, he had the back from the bad beds in Indy. He's had ankle now. I don't know if it's a groin or a knee or whatever. He was unable to play against Washington. And Jordan Morgan goes in there and plays really good football. It becomes more and more difficult to go back to Aaron Banks. Now, Jordan Morgan's versatility kind of hurts him in the fact that for a short, and I think I heard LaFleur say this yesterday, For the short term, maybe it stinks, but for the long term, it's great for Jordan because he's, building all these tools to, play all these different spots. He's going to be your left tackle next season unless something crazy happens and Sheeto takes a deal that the Packers feel comfortable with. But I think that if Jordan Morgan continues to get opportunities, that is an opportunity that maybe it'll be much more difficult for them to put Aaron Banks back in, even though they paid him big money for this season. They want Jordan Morgan to play. And if he's playing well, it's going to make it really difficult for them to pull him out of any. If it's platooning with Sean Ryan, if it's jumping over to – I was a little surprised that if they feel like Zach Tom's not going to play, that Rob Demovsky said unequivocally it's Jordan, it's going to be Anthony Belton. A little surprised by that. Not in the fact that I think Anthony Belton held up pretty well and is a big physical dude, but just in the fact that I felt like Jordan Morgan had earned every spot but center. If something happens, he's going in. Well, if Sunday goes the way we think, and that Rob said, that won't be the case, and I'm sure if Aaron Banks plays, Jordan Morgan won't be. I'm sure that'll be a tough pill for him to swallow.
So obviously your experience is on the offensive line, and that's the specific position we're talking about given the injuries this week. Do you think that same logic applies for all positions? Like if there's a free agent wide receiver and there's a first-round pick as a rookie that are competing for reps at it, is it similar at any other position, or is this really more specific to the offensive line, maybe the defensive line too?
So I don't think it really matters what position. The bottom line is the first-round pick will always get more opportunities, but coaches want to win. And if somebody is better and producing at a higher level consistently, they're going to get that spot. That's the beauty of the NFL, and that's the beauty of team football, is that you get these opportunities, and if you run with it and take advantage of it, there comes a point where none of that matters. That becomes regular season football games. OTAs and IPWs and mini camps and preseason football, let's get opportunities. Oh, this guy's a first-round pick. Oh, we paid him. And it starts out that way, but if and when that point comes where somebody goes out there and plays, Russell Wilson and Matt Flynn is a great example. Russell Wilson wasn't a first-round pick. Matt Flynn, they paid $20 million. At that point, was a very good quarterback contract. And Russell Wilson outplayed him, and you go with the guy that you know is going to help you win. Because the bottom line on it, everybody in that room knows who should be playing. If somebody is out there and playing really good football, and then they just put somebody else back in there because they're high paid and they're not playing good football, you're going to lose credibility as a coach in that room. And that's where some of these conflicts come, where a general manager is like, you're playing him. You saw it in Moneyball. Well, you're playing him. Well, the guy can't do this. Well, if it works and your team is successful, everybody's on board. If it doesn't, you want to shatter a locker room real quick. Pull somebody that's been incredibly productive, because they're going to be a really good teammate, and the teammates are going to love them, for some first or second round pick that is talented but doesn't do the work and doesn't produce. Fastest way to bust up a locker room.
Pretty good conversation there, inspired by JR in the car on the text line. Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talking text line. List is more, 844-770-3776. And because of that, we didn't get to the real or not rankings from ESPN's NFL Nation, and we also haven't reviewed any of the texts from the last 24 hours getting after Tausch for his first pitch of the Brewers game. So
you got Will Riley.
Yeah,
I'm sure Riley can curate some stuff.
I mean, we had a lot of fun reading comments yesterday at Whoa Nelly, so maybe we'll run it back again today. Tausch, you want to tell us, since Jason's not here, about our great partnership with Steinhoffels and all they have to offer?
Indeed, I do. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and Steinhoffels is teaming up with Special Spaces Wisconsin to do something really special. Here's how easy it is. Just stop by any Steinhoffels this month, test rest any mattress. So that means go lay down, chill. When you do, you'll get a $20 restaurant gift card. So dinner's on Steinhoffels, and Steinhafels will donate that $20 to Special Spaces Wisconsin. They're an incredible group that creates dream bedrooms for kids battling cancer. So swing by Steinhafels this September, take a test rest, enjoy a night out, and help make a child's dream bedroom come true. Steinhafels. We're going to be out at a Steinhafels. Is that next week?
I was just going to mention that. So this great deal's going on with Steinhafels with Special Spaces Wisconsin, the $20 restaurant gift card just for coming in, taking a test rest. You can do that during our show next Friday in Madison. We will be on the west side of Madison at Steinhafels, over just off the Beltline. So come see us next Friday. So tomorrow is the 19th, so that's the 26th. You can come see us at Steinhafels on the west side, just off the Beltline, from 9 to noon. Do your test rest and all the fun stuff, and you may walk out of there with a couch, a recliner, a shuffleboard table, whatever else they have to offer over at Steinhafels. Appreciate y'all coming out. And Steinhafels remotes are always some of our most popular. We get a lot of fans who love coming out and seeing us when we're out at Steinhafels. So want to make sure everybody knows about that next Friday, just off the Beltline on the west side of Madison. Time now for Wilde and Tausch Trivia. Speaking of great partnerships, presented by Cousins Subs. Today's trivia category, which I guess since he's doing a self-imposed ban, the category is the push for the MLB postseason. Now, Tausch, you banned yourself from Brewers, but does that mean you're banning yourself from all baseball conversation here?
I think with the way that I threw the first pitch and the reaction, that's all part of it. So, you and Riley will have to handle this. I'll be silently listening and playing along.
You can ask the caller if you have any geography questions or Packers questions. You can ask anything you want. You just need to stay away from the baseball component of things here. Okay. Caller 14. Caller 14. Why? No idea. 844-770-3776. Caller 14. 844-770-3776. Plays Wilde and Tausch Trivia, the push for the MLB postseason. Today's category, your chance to enter to win for a Cousins Subs gift card that we'll draw for tomorrow. Caller 14 right now. 844-770-3776. I and Riley will play Wilde and Tausch Trivia without Tausch. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Crispy chicken tenders are now at Cousins Subs. Enjoy them with your favorite dipping sauce, or try them in one of our 2 new subs, Classic Crispy Chicken or Bold Buffalo Ranch Crispy Chicken. Both served on our fresh baked bread, made with quality you can taste. But hurry, these crispy favorites are only here for a limited time. Order in store, online, or on the app today. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best local sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see the teams recognized for making a positive impact in the community. It's the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
The Midwest's best baseball players have one thing in common: GRB Academy. For 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement, producing over 468 college commits and 27 major league draft picks. Their Windsor facility has 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training space. Next up to bat is GRB's Top Prospect Camp on Sunday, October 12th, open to the high school classes of 2026 through 2029. Claim your spot now at grbacademy.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly open Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
I'm not afraid of getting older. I want less day from dying young. I see the light and go past my shoulder. I want less day from dying young. And I'm not afraid of getting older. I want less day from dying.
So I got a couple of fun texts before we get to trivia here. Digger in a delivery van in the 920. That's a very long name, but what's up, Digger? We had a family wedding in Cleveland last summer, spent half a week downtown. The trip to Canton was disappointing. I'm sorry to hear that, Digger. The goalpost for the original Municipal Stadium was neat, but more meh. The only great sightseeing about the trip to Cleveland was seeing Superman being filmed 2 blocks away from the Drury Hotel. So the new Superman movie was being filmed in Cleveland when Digger was there last summer. How about that, Tausch? There you go.
That I still have not seen that movie. I will once it makes it to the airplane. National Park right in outside of Cleveland. We had a hockey tournament. And we went to Cuyahoga National Park. So there's a beautiful national park. You get your stamp and not go to National Park while you're there, Riley, if you're able to make that trip.
There you go. Perfect. Also, another text, how come we're not doing the show at my house today? If you want to talk about bans, I think we've been banned from doing the show at our house after the digi shenanigans that ensued.
Collecting a lot of bands. I'm collecting more bands than I would like at this point in my life.
It's a self-imposed 1-week ban because of your performance on the mound for your ceremonial first pitch that you cannot talk baseball on our show for the next week. So, tough break for you, the push for the MLB postseason, today's Wilde and Tausch trivia category. So you can talk with Ryan and Madison about whatever you want, just not that. Wilde and Tausch trivia presented by Cousin Subs.
Wilde and Tausch trivia is presented by Cousin Subs. Crispy chicken tenders are now available at Cousin Subs. Order today in store at cousinsubs.com or with the Cousins app. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
The aforementioned Ryan in Madison is today's trivia contestant. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning. How's it going?
Better for you and I than it is for Tausch, I guess. Tausch, anything you want to talk to Ryan about throughout trivia here? Well, we ask him some baseball questions.
OT, I got some of them rainbow carrots for you. I'm that vegetable delivery guy that you wanted some rainbow carrots from.
Oh, yeah. That'll brighten my day. I like big carrot fan. My wife is a monster. She loves a good carrot, so that's good. Let me know where to pick them up.
Nice. I'll bring them to you. You just got to let me know where you're at.
Yeah.
All right.
You can deliver it to the undisclosed location.
Exactly.
Question number 1, the push for the MLB postseason, Ryan in Madison. Which MLB team enters play today holding the largest division lead, 12.5 games up on the team in second place in their division? Is it the Philadelphia Phillies, the Houston Astros, or the Savannah Bananas?
I'll go with A, the first one.
Philadelphia Phillies is correct. 12.5 games up on the New York Mets. They are the only team that has clinched a division title at this juncture. The Astros actually have the narrowest lead of any division leader, a half game up on the Seattle Mariners. Tight race, and I think they're on Sunday Night Baseball this week. It'd be a fun one to keep an eye on if you're a big baseball fan. Tausch, anything you want to talk about that's not baseball related?
No, what is the, outside of orange, what's the next best-selling carrot color?
Well, I mean, that's the standard, but, I mean, the rainbow carrots have, like, purple and yellow.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a good question.
I thought.
Yeah, great question. Thanks, Tausch.
Thank you.
Question 2, Ryan in Madison. Entering play today, which National League team would be the first team out of the playoff picture, 1.5 games back of the final NL wildcard spot? Who is the first team out in the NL wildcard picture? Is it the New York Mets, the Arizona Diamondbacks, or the St. Louis Cardinals?
The Diamondbacks?
Sounds like a guess, but a good one at that. Yeah. I was as shocked to see that as anybody this morning when I looked it up. The Diamondbacks are 1.5 games back of the Mets. The Diamondbacks have been hot lately. They actually passed up the Cardinals and the Reds, who were in contention for a long time, just a couple of games back of that spot. But now it's
if I wasn't banned,
yeah,
I'd ask you where the San Francisco Giants are in that, but I am banned, so I can't.
They are
Ryan,
2 games back. Just if anyone, not Tausch necessarily, but anyone wants to know, 2
Where
games back.
Where are the Giants located in the NL playoff picture?
They are. Oh, thanks, Riley. They are 2 games back of the final NL wild card spot. So a half game back of the Diamondbacks.
Ryan, carrots, more eaten raw or cooked on a percentage basis?
Well, I'm just the source. I'm not the restaurant end of it.
No, I understand.
I would say, I don't know, that's probably a pretty even split.
Okay. All right.
I mean, carrots are used to sweeten up like soups and stuff. So I mean, they're used a lot of various uses for them.
Oh, snap!
Yes, I would bet that it's cooked. If I was betting, I think it's like a 60-40 split cooked. But I digress. Well, I don't want to. I don't want to pigeonhole Ryan as just being a carrot guy. I don't want you just being the carrot guy. So that'll be my last question.
I got the whole spectrum of veggies.
Oh, we haven't even gotten to asparagus yet.
So what veggie? What is your top? Brussels sprouts has made a monster comeback, right? They have, like, from a start point to where they're at, that has been the biggest jump in the veggie game. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, we do a fair amount of that. I mean, the staple for everything is potatoes and onions. I mean, that's what everybody orders.
Yeah.
Onions are the starter for onions and garlic. That's what makes the world turn.
Amen.
True. A vegetable medley. When it says like you're at a restaurant or you got a recipe that says a vegetable medley.
Too much cauliflower in those, though.
Yeah. What do you expect to see in the vegetable medley, Ryan?
Like, is it like a salad or like a cooked dish?
Like a cooked, like a side of veggies when you're out at like a steakhouse or I don't know, any kind of restaurant.
It's probably like a steamed broccoli, maybe some carrots, some peas, onions.
Like a stir fry mix.
Sure.
Yeah. It depends on what kind of the restaurant, what flavor they're serving. It depends on what kind of vegetable they'll bring to the table.
Fair enough.
Ryan, are you okay with being the Wilde and Tausch vegetable expert on our show? Like when you call in now, can we just put Ryan, our veggie guy, or veggie expert,
veggie Ryan?
I don't want to. I don't want to pigeonhole you.
Hey, I don't mind at all. I'll be your veggie guy.
Put that down, Youngster. Make sure we have his info. If there's any vegetable related questions, we'll have to go. We're gonna go to Ryan, our veggie guy. Okay,
Ryan.
Go ahead.
Ryan, our veggie guy.
You can see on the YouTube stream, Ryan in Madison has been updated to Ryan, our veggie guy.
Big day.
Put it this way. I will produce. Oh, that was bad. Sorry.
I love that. That's on point.
We do still have one more trivia question, if everyone would be okay with that. Cousin Subs especially. Here, question number 3. Which former Brewers pitcher was the winning pitcher for the Chicago Cubs as they clinched a playoff berth yesterday afternoon in Pittsburgh against the Pirates? Former Brewer pitcher who got the win yesterday to get the Cubs the clinch to the playoffs. Was it Colin Ray, Drew Pomeranz, or Aaron Savali?
I have no idea. We'll go to C, third one.
Aaron Savali is correct. That is a perfect day for Ryan, our veggie guy. All 4 entries into the drawing tomorrow for the Cousin Subs gift card here on Wilde and Tausch Trivia. Aaron Savali, who, when The Miz was called up in June, said he did not want to be in Milwaukee anymore, wanted to have regular reps as a starter, didn't want to go to the bullpen, was promptly traded to the White Sox in exchange for Andrew Vaughn, and we all know how that's gone for the Brewers. Savali now...
Yeah, I'm at my next stop. I got to run.
All right, bye, Ryan. Yeah, bye, Ryan. Yeah, go make your veggie stop. We did hold him a long time.
Ryan, our veggie guy.
So Savali went to the White Sox. Now he's with the Cubs and gets a win to clinch the playoff berth for the Cubs. What a journey for Aaron Savali this year. Forever linked with the Milwaukee Brewers and some of the success they've seen this year. That's Wilde and Tausch Trivia. It is presented by Cousin Subs. Thanks to Ryan, our veggie guy, today's contestant. Coming up next, Riley Yauk leads us in Whoa Riley, which may be topics he presents, or it may be reading comments on Tausch's first pitch. Either way, we'll do it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf, before, during, and after the sale. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
Chevy trucks have you covered when the road takes you from smooth sailing to Chevy Colorado will eat up some of the toughest terrains with 5 available drive modes. And Silverado and Silverado HD have the muscle to take you out for some serious with multiple engine options and impressive towing. While Silverado EV is the perfect combo of performance and capability, making it a snap to hitch up this electric truck and hit the road. Wherever the road leads, Chevy trucks are right there with you. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with a refreshing offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. Well, this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and 0 interest financing for 12 months. My new buddy Chris from Oostburg is one of their skilled installers who demos your existing bath or shower, removes it, and disposes it before installing your brand new dream shower. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Hello, I'm John Hayes, the owner of Goodman's Jewelers. It's been my pleasure to serve this community from this incredible store for over 4 decades. We stand upon high standards and classic traditions, pillars like honesty and integrity. Stop into Goodman's Jewelers, the longest-standing full-service jewelry store in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
This is a magical month at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison with 13 chances to win big every week. Starting at 6 p.m. each Friday in September, 12 winners will enter an enchanted forest and select a cash prize of up to $2,500. Then at 9 p.m. every Friday, one winner will open a door to reveal a grand prize of up to $10,000 in cash. Be here for our Forest of Fortune promotion happening every Friday night in September. Don't miss your chance for prizes all month long at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Is your computer so slow you can hardly use it? Does it have blue screens, malware, viruses, reboots, hardware crashes? Sound familiar? Computers will have problems, and when they do, you need the computer experts at Madison Computer Works. Every day we help home users and businesses keep their computers and networks running smoothly. For solutions to your computer problems, call the pros at 231-8000, and we'll turn this into this. Madison Computer Works. Computers that work for you.
We're on the Badgers.
Bottom line, we got to pick it up tomorrow.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
I don't want to see anybody walking out on that field with slumped shoulders. But this is a big game this week, and we got to bounce back.
This is 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Jesse and Tausch today on Wilde and Tausch. Jason's back tomorrow. Before we get to Riley Auk's rendition of Whoa Nelly, Nick in Wanakee has a text, and we got to dance carefully here. It's a sports psychology question, not related to a certain sport or certain team whatsoever, so Tausch can answer. When a team locks up a division or first-round bye or whatever, he doesn't want them celebrating with champagne in said clubhouse, locker room, whatever it may be. That club, whatever it may be, should have the mentality that nothing has been accomplished yet if they're going to get the monkey off their back and make a deep run in the postseason. That needs to be the mindset. What would you say to that, Tausch, hypothetically about any sports team in that situation?
So we're not talking baseball.
No, it could be anyone. Could just not.
Okay, so let's say it's hockey.
Yeah.
Let's say it's hockey. Okay, we'll say it's hockey just to make so. Otherwise, I can comment on it. I disagree. I think it's important. Now, should you go out and get blank faced and no, you better celebrate these wins and these clinchings and. Because these seasons are long, and yes, you understand that you want to win everything. You want to win the whole thing. This is not jeopardizing that. You also want to make sure that everybody feels appreciated, loved, and respected, all of the things, because this journey is so hard. You want some of the best stuff, and you could say, well, the Brewers, would they have won if they didn't, had they celebrated not at the wild card or this? No. You want to come together, and if you don't celebrate the wins, what are you doing? I guess that would be my point back. It's a long, hard journey. You better celebrate the ones you get when you get them, take advantage of it and enjoy it.
Well, there you have it. Nick and Wanakee, not about any team in particular. Unrelated, you can listen to the Brewers tonight on 620 WTMJ and 100.5 ESPN Madison, your home of the Brewers in Milwaukee and Madison. Brewers Angels. Brewers going for the sweep. 6:40 first pitch. Time now.
And I know I'm not going to talk Brewers, but can you tell everybody else the scenario? And I heard Riley say it on a Sports Center.
Yes.
If the Brewer or if a baseball team.
Yeah.
How many wins do they need to clinch if the opposing team would win the whole thing?
So
win every game?
The magic number for the Brewers, Riley and I will handle this. So the Brewers' magic number is 6. So that's a combination of Brewers wins and Cubs losses. So hypothetically, if the Brewers played, if they went 5-6 the rest of the way, that would be 5 wins for the Brewers. So the Cubs would have to win every game the rest of the way if the Brewers go 5-6 in their remaining 11, right? That's how many games they have left?
Yeah, there's either 11 or 10, but regardless, if the Brewers go 5-5.
5-5, yeah, there's 10 games left. 5-5. So if the Brewers go 5-5, 500 the rest of the way, the Cubs would have to win every game in order to leapfrog the Brewers in the NL Central Division standings.
Okay.
Feels pretty good for the Milwaukee
not a bad
Brewers.
spot to be in.
Time now for Whoa, Riley.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
All right, since I feel like this is a theme with my Whoa Rileys, and I want to continue it. Everyone's interested in my love life, my dating life, so might as well give everyone an update. And a good update today, as went on a date earlier this week with a fine young lady who I met at one of my jiu-jitsu classes.
Oh.
And there's already a second date planned.
Is she a jiu-jitsuer?
Yes, she is.
She
Why would she be at the jiu-jitsu class?
I don't know. Maybe she was there to watch her brother, or I don't know the jiu-jitsu world, Jesse.
Yeah, some people come for just to try it out, to do a trial class and see what it's like. Not everyone who comes is a diehard, but she just so happens to be. And we're going on a second date this Saturday. So as I already told Geriad, unfortunately, that means I cannot make the trip to Cleveland immediately after Wisconsin College game day. I will be busy. So,
Question. How many dates would it have taken for you to take her on this road trip?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Let's just put it this way. You had a good first date.
Yep.
And then your second date is just, you can't stop talking. You guys are just, you are in sync.
Yes.
She's a huge Packers fan.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a third day? Is that too soon?
The following weekend, you're offered Air T&T comes up with a great spot for you in
Air
Dallas.
T&T with Jones Dairy products coming out of your trunk.
I mean,
and Matt, and our veggie, I guarantee you one thing, our veggie guy will load your trunk up with veggies.
Yeah, bacon and carrots for days.
Bacon and Brussels sprouts.
Some cauliflower. Make sure he holds that. I think if I'm getting all of that as a bonus, third date, it's on the radar for sure. But I think to be safe, I'd probably want to wait. If I have 3 fantastic dates, I think at that point that we're having the conversation like, hey, what are we? Are we want to make this exclusive? Boyfriend, girlfriend type thing, and then we move on to the road trip with the Jones Dairy and Matt the veggie guy.
So
and
you need to be exclusive before the road trip. That's the benchmark there.
That's what I'd say. Yeah. And if Ryan's giving us veggies and Jones is giving us free meat products, like I'm even more on board.
Okay.
Whoa, Nelly!
Oh, never mind. You have another question.
Does that answer all your questions, Tausch? Any further questions?
I'm always excited. It's just fun when you hear about young love, and Riley has been so open with our fans. I think
they've been on one
he's right.
date. What do you mean young? You don't know
but
anything
he had
here
his
yet.
he had his quill pen gal. Then he had the one that didn't go all that great, and then he's telling us about the dating apps. Like people are trying to just People are rooting for Riley.
Yeah, they are.
People want Riley to find love.
Yeah,
and I appreciate
that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, shout out Matt in West Bend asks the real question for Riley: could you take her in a match? And that's the thing. She's also a blue belt. I think yes, but she's planning on coming to morning class with me tomorrow. So like not quite a date, but like we'll see each other again. So I will be able to update you.
Do you grab coffee after?
That is a good question. Ooh, that's a good idea. I hadn't thought of that. If she doesn't have work, I'm gonna do that.
Question:
Would you be okay if she kicked your keister?
It would be humbling for sure, but I would accept it and move on. It's not worth jeopardizing the relationship over that. And then I'd reassess and beat her the next time. So,
can you just kind of take us? She shows up at this jiu-jitsu parlor.
Yep.
How did you just go up and say, "Hey, I like the cut of your jib"? Like, give us a little taste of how this first date happened.
So actually, I just saw her, and we worked together. You know, you do some technique first before you spar and roll.
Liked her technique.
And actually, so the funny thing is, Jesse, I had to leave before we could spar. So we haven't sparred, we haven't rolled before. I had to come fill in to produce this show.
Usually after date 5 or 6, you start to spar a little bit.
Anyways, and then nothing happened. I had to bounce. I had to come produce this show. So I didn't talk to her, didn't ask her out there. But then she found me on a dating app, liked my profile, and was like, wait, don't I know you? And I was like, yes, I do, from jiu-jitsu. We had a great little conversation.
Wow.
Then we planned the date from there.
So she reached out to you.
Yeah, she found my profile first.
I think she's kicking your keister in a killer jiu-jitsu matchup.
I'll keep you guys posted. We'll find out after 7:45 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Hey, what do you call it's not a parlor. What do you guys call it?
It's just a gym. Jiu-jitsu gym. I mean,
that's not.
It's not.
I like
cool.
the parlor. Little bar stools.
It's definitely got a better ring to it.
Marble counter.
Well, hey, we can refer to it as a jiu-jitsu parlor from here on out on this show. But if you'd like to attend a jiu-jitsu parlor, it would typically, you want to search it up, you'd find it under a gym.
Gym, yeah.
Yeah,
my friends call it a dojo when I first started.
Sure,
it's not a dojo.
So if you guys start dating and get serious, is it still good to spar?
I think
on the mat?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe not during an argument or like if
let's get him,
things are a little testy.
Let's get him to date. Let's get him to coffee tomorrow, and let's get him to date 3 before we start talking about stuff.
That's fair.
My question was going to be,
didn't you know Riley? Riley moves fast.
Yeah,
Riley's not one to be sitting back.
We're all rooting for you, Riley.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We are.
For
sure.
If there were to be a world where it unfortunately did not work out.
Yep.
Would you still see each other at class all the time?
I don't think
so. Is this a necessary risk that you take in the pursuit of love?
No, she actually already has switched gyms. She was at my gym a few months ago when I first saw her, and then now she currently attends another gym, but
competing parlor across town.
Exactly. But she's familiar with our coaches at my gym, my parlor. So I think she'll be welcome back, and it'll be fine. I don't think if it goes horribly wrong or things take a downward spiral, I shouldn't have to worry about not being able to go to class because I don't want to see her.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Whoa, Nelly!
Appreciate the update.
Good synopsis, Riley,
Yeah.
where we're at.
Of course. Happy to help, and I think at 11:50, that's probably a good spot to end.
Get a chocolate milkshake at the jiu-jitsu parlor tomorrow morning.
Why not?
It'd be nice.
Why not?
That's it for Whoa, Riley. Great update. Thank you, Riley, for the developments there. We will check the carbless ESPN Wisconsin talking text line and get set for Packers-Browns coming up on Sunday in Cleveland. We'll do that next to round out this edition of Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com. You, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Bruner Realty, providing excellent real estate and property management services in the Madison area for over 30 years. Contact their team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get housed today. Stay the course. Wisconsin football looking to rebound after the lopsided loss at Alabama. As Bucky approaches Big Ten play, Barry Alvarez offering advice to Luke Fickell and co. to avoid the noise. More from Coach during the latest episode of The Barry Alvarez Show.
They can say whatever they want. It's about the coach and the kids. When you lose, you're going to get criticized. That's just human nature. Listen, whether it be the Packers or anybody, any place across the country. And we have a very avid fan base here.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. PellaWI.com.
Oh no, there's only seltzer left, and it's passionberry almond fruit? Who comes up with these? Kick the aluminum can to the curb and mix up a cocktail you actually want with Tito's. It tastes great, it's gluten-free, and it's available in a variety of sizes for your convenience. The flavor abilities are endless. Tito's Handmade Vodka, the official spirit of whatever you want to drink. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Grassland Butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The search for luxury begins at Audi Madison. Save $5,500 when you purchase or lease a new 2025 Audi Q7 55. National customer credit is good toward the purchase, finance, or lease of a new Audi, but is only available until September 30th. Stop in and test drive today. Check out AudiMadison.com to see current inventory and specials. Start your adventure at Audi Madison today, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
It's an undefeated Big Ten showdown. 3-0 Michigan State travels to the Coliseum to face 25th ranked and 3-0 USC.
Touchdown USC.
Coverage begins Saturday night at 10:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Wilde Tausch, Jesse and Tausch, and the very popular Riley Yauk, our cousin sub of the day, producing today here in the Everlight Solar Studio at ESPN Madison. Packers-Browns coming up on Sunday in Cleveland. We'll do plenty more tomorrow to get you set for it. The Green and Gold game preview, all of our usual pre-game day segments, and rumor has it we are working on confirming the official time for this tomorrow. but a certain Wisconsin Badger and Cleveland Brown Wisconsinite may be scheduled to appear. It could be Kevin Zeitler or a different offensive lineman that we are a little more familiar and connected with around these parts, potentially scheduled to appear on tomorrow's show. Tausch and I will be at TPC, Wisconsin for the Greater Bucky Open. Jason will return to tomorrow's show as well. Tausch, one question for you here before we go. It's not Packers related, and it's not Brewers related, so you can weigh in on it. I may have an opportunity tomorrow night to broadcast a Muskego High School football game. They are number 5 in our ESPN Wisconsin media poll rankings this week, and they are hosting number 1 Arrowhead in Muskego. Ooh. And I was contacted about potentially making a trip down to call the game on their stream, which it seems like we might be able to get this going. You busy tomorrow night? You wanna do some? You wanna reunite like we did in Sun Prairie and Middleton for our baseball game?
I will do the baseball game with you again this spring. I will not do the Muskego Heartland, even though a couple of juggernauts going at it.
Good game
in the Classic 8, right?
The SEC of high school football.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't. But I'm guessing knowing that reps are what matters. I'm guessing you're going to go do it.
I think we're going to make this happen tomorrow night. Yeah, I got to work on some logistics. Are you going
to be a homer like you were with Verona against Sun Prairie?
I was not when I did the Verona game. I was not. That was just one of your buddies who was suggesting that. But if it's on the Muskego stream,
more than one.
I think
that you were very pro Verona.
If I'm not doing the game for ESPN Wisconsin, it's the Muskego stream. Like I can be like, Brian.
So you're going to be Johnny Muskego.
When Brian Anderson's on TBS and he's calling a Brewers game, he's got to be very impartial down the middle. If he's calling the game on FanDuel Wisconsin, he can homer it up for the Brewers. So I think I'd probably do the same approach tomorrow night if that's the case. So I'll fill you in tomorrow. Jason will be back. I'm sure he'll be having some fun with that too. Jason will tell you all about where he was at today as well. When he returns to the show tomorrow. So thanks so much for coming along with us today. Thanks to Rob Demovsky. Thanks to Riley. And thanks to you. As Jason always says, have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.